Hello everyone. Anil Yerra will be joining in another 5 to 10 minutes. So please prepare for the road quiz. He just called and informed us. Please prepare for the Jam network.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Anil?
My extreme apologies again. 3 o'clock is not somehow working for me. I thought it would, and so I will ensure that this does not happen in future. So, yeah, and I apologize for making you all wait for such a long time. So let's get started without any ado, and then we'll kind of cover up for that, and we'll go a little beyond the scheduled time, just so that uh, we cover a lot of more teams today. All right. So before I begin, any questions, any thoughts, any ideas based on the last few sessions, or even otherwise, any of the teams, any of the L2s, any of the students, anything, absolutely anything for the next few minutes. If there is any doubt, any questions, please go ahead and ask me, and I will try to address those. Meanwhile, I also suggest all the other teams start getting ready. We know what we're going to do today, right? We're going to have a lot more role plays. So open to you all for any questions, if any, actually. Anybody, any questions, any thoughts based on whatever we've discussed so far?
Can you hear me? This is the post director, Dr. Sarit Kumar.
Yes, Dr. Sarit. Yes, Dr.
How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you.
Anil, what I felt in the last this that they have got a shock of the role play because they really don't know what is this whole concept about. But I think let me hear them today, since you have explained them the whole thing, in the last session. So I thought that you will just hear them out. Maybe a couple of teams I will also see how they are going through, and then we both will chip in with our ideas. I think that will be a better point of diction than thing. Let me see first how they are prepared, and then I will give my viewpoint. What do you say?
Sure. So what I have observed, sir, I think very valid point. So what I've observed is with each session, I think the teams seem to be improving because they were definitely much better prepared than the previous session. So the only thing is, what I wanted them to do is do that holistic thinking in one go instead of spoon feeding every little bit, because everything can't be spoon fed, right? The actual interview will be completely new. I mean, it can be completely different for them, right? So that's the idea.
So your modus operandi, I don't have any questions at all. I think let me see how they have prepared, since you have given them some time. Let me listen to them, and then maybe we both will chip in with our ideas.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So thank you, sir. Anyone else? Anyone has any questions regarding the sessions, or any doubts regarding how, if they were not clear, what was to be prepared, what was not to be prepared, and all of that? Just to give you all a background once again, I think the initial set of questions which we did before these role plays were primarily like the intro questions, right? I mean, who are you? What is your background? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And the basic things. The whole interview is not going to revolve around that. That's going to be maybe 5 to 10 minutes or so. Then after that part is done, ideally, if the interview goes well, they will get into more detailed discussions on your specific area of the company or your area of interest, and whatever the topic of the interview is, basically. So that is what we are trying to do in these role plays, if you all have observed, and I think I clarified that also the last time. So that is what is required, going deep into the topic and explaining and interesting the audience, the interviewer, and whoever is asking you the questions, to keep them engaged with your answers. Basically, that's how the more you are able to engage them, the more the interview is a success, right? So that's the idea. And post that, maybe towards the end, how the interview concludes and what can be asked and all that, maybe we'll try and cover that after we are done with these role plays. But that is the flow that we are trying to follow. Okay, so any questions, any thoughts, any questions?
Yes, sir. This is Altaf L2.
Yes, sir.
So in the previous session, like every other group were telling that we are a startup, and that how the role play went on. Now,
Okay.
for example, if a person appearing for the interview for an other company, like any of the big brand companies, like Samsung or any other company, definitely they are like 50 plus years or 10 plus years of company, which they have a very good balance sheet, so that they will come to know what is the book. But and if the any interview person coming for an interview, and they should do they want to know what is the company's strategy, or how the business is going to be there, because nowadays the startups are starting for the first few months of a couple of years they are doing good. After that they are coming down, they are scaling down the operations or something. So if that is the case, like what an interview person should ask to the interviewer, like about the company. I let me rephrase my question. So
Yeah.
a person coming to the interview for a startup, so what he should ask to the person, to the interviewer, like what is the growth scale of the company? It's not only the interview only will tell about the skills, but if the company is not performing for next 1 year or 2 years, if they don't have sufficient funds or any for some XYZ reason, they can't able to operate or something. So before that, the employee should be like having utmost care of joining of that particular company. If that is the mind thought of that one, so what questions he should ask?
No, Altaf, I'm a little confused. Can you just phrase that question? I did not get the question actually.
Okay,
So,
let me.
all I got is if there is an interview with a larger organization, a larger MNC, let's say, like you mentioned, Samsung or maybe any other bigger organization instead of these startups which they have been talking about.
Okay,
So, what is the question?
okay. A fresher coming for a startup company.
Okay.
Okay, the startup company is like only 6 months old, and
Okay.
the person doesn't know like how far this company will grow in future. So
Who
what is the
the fresher, the fresher.
the fresher will not be knowing like
They
how
don't know.
they
Yes.
know. See,
Okay.
if for any big brand company like Samsung, which I told, yes, the fresher comes like he knows the company sustainability, it will go for years together. His
Okay.
job is like secured for
So there is a
couple of years.
comfort factor. With
That's
a
a comfort
larger
factor.
organization, there is a comfort
Comfort
factor that
factor.
my job is a little more secure.
It is
Yeah.
more secure. But for the fresher, for the startup, the fresher, what kind of questions he should ask, so that after hiring like a couple of months or after 3 months, the company couldn't able to afford him or doesn't need that particular job profile, he'll be
Mhm.
out of the job. So if that is the case, like what are the questions the candidate should ask to the company or the.
So your question is, what questions can the candidate ask the interviewer in a
Yes,
startup kind of a situation to
yes,
ensure that the startup is not going to fire them or something like that
exactly. Yeah, yes,
in a
yes,
short while of time?
yes,
Okay, that's a tricky question. How do you basically you're asking me how do I ensure that this company, if whether a startup or a larger this thing, my role is going to be relevant and I'm going to have this for a long term. Is that the question?
yes. For example, if a fresher candidate goes for Infosys for a software developer, the
Mhm.
Infosys doesn't tell that we don't have any software developer post or something, because it's
Mhm.
always they are going to be that is the core business of
Mhm.
Infosys.
Mhm.
Whereas a startup company, any fintech or any healthcare company, they
I
recruit for a
understood.
UI designer
Your
after a
question
few months.
is, so your
Yes,
question is that uncertainty, how do I ensure with a startup whether it is doing well or not,
yes,
and can I ensure that in the question? So in the interview, so I mean that's an interesting question, but I don't know if I can get that complete confidence ever in that interview. Maybe I'll need to do that research outside of that interview to find out what that startup is, how long it has it been working, and what is the funding it has got, and all of those things, and to see if it is really going to do well, some kind of a prediction and a forecast myself, and based on the industry insight. And what question can I ask them? I think that's a little trickier, but that's a risk that anyway the fresher has to take if he or she is applying for a startup. That I think I don't have a straight answer to it right now, but let me think through it. Okay.
yes,
Interesting question, but I don't think you can confirm that in the interview. You can ask anything. You can ask about the company, its future growth plans and all of that, but all you're going to get is a rosy picture and a good view,
Yeah,
and if
because
they're really honest, they might tell you how the things are and if there are any challenges. But otherwise, yeah, how will you confirm that comfort factor of a job in a larger organization versus a startup is always, and there's going to be that that balance that you'll have to see. Maybe the startup can give a better salary to freshers compared to a larger MNC. That's the
the
plus point.
that's a catch point when the freshers are attracted towards
Correct, correct.
company.
Yeah, but as we see, I mean, a lot of
Anil, I think, Anil, just
yes,
correct me if my understanding is right. See, what Altaf is trying to tell is that, what is the candidate looking at? See, in a startup, I feel the most important thing which a startup is looking at is the marketability factor. I think the most, important point they have to see is how can they market whatever startup company space that they are into, how the candidate is able to market. So I think what the candidate has to see is what is the marketable futuristic approach of these companies are and how they have grown in the last 2 years or 1 year, whatever is the period. So I think that is the assessment which a student has to do. What is the growth process and what are the new areas in which they have entered? I think if the entry point
right.
of business is clear, if they start working on multiple areas, then the growth is going to come. And if a startup is only working on a single space, then I think it's a bit of a risky factor. So
There is
I
a
thought maybe this can be one of the areas in which, a student might be trying to assess. But as you rightly said, for any startup interview, a student has to do a background research that what all the company is into, what is the futuristic approach of that company, and where all business they are trying to get in. Their balance sheet has to be properly analyzed. Then only come for a startup interview. Because startup is always a bit of a tricky company because you never know. Like Infosys and the Wipros and the Cognizant, they have a lineage. In a startup, there is no lineage. Whatever they are present and whatever their futuristic viewpoint is, then that is the only assessment factor. So students have to understand this when they go for a startup interview, that they have to look at the marketability factor, how they bring in a sort of a marketing arena with them for that new company. This is what I understand. I may be wrong.
No, I think that's a fair point, sir. So, yeah, they need to do that background check. And like I said, see, the point is, if you are applying for a startup, job, you have to be prepared with that amount of risk. You cannot say that I need both the best of both. I mean, a large organization comfort as well as a startup, because the startup is a startup, right? They're trying to do things and enter the market and make business, right? So that risk is there, but then along with that, maybe the aspect of working on something very fresh, something very innovative, that can be a value add for the candidate. If the candidate is prepared to take up that challenge, and even if it is a short stint, let us say, unfortunately, they were not retained, or for whatever reasons, the company had to whatever close down or whatever, and the job was lost. What the candidate needs to ensure is the learning that they have done in those months or the 1 year or whatever time that they have spent, that knowledge needs to be transferable. That should not be wasted. So that advantage they need to take up. And the other thing is, if it is a larger larger organization, the reason why it's a little bit more comfortable, although I don't say that it's as comfortable as it was earlier. Even there also you have these risk factors. But the point is, if you're not suitable for a particular project, there are options to put the candidate in other roles and other projects. There are many more projects and all of that. The scope for engaging in a variety of projects is a little more. Even if what they were taken in for is not working for some reason, there is always a chance for moving them to some other project. Whereas in a startup, that luxury is not there, because they are already working on very limited number of resources and maybe limited projects, and they're very focused, right? So the other thing that the candidate can ensure is, if the candidate is really passionate about the startup concept itself, he or she can bring in that passion into that role whenever they are working there, and they can make themselves more valuable so that they are not, let go of
Fired off.
as easily. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, with all those points, weighing those, and with all those positives and negatives, one needs to take a decision, right? So yeah, I mean, I think you also brought an important point. Most of the role plays the last time, everybody started saying we are a startup, and most of the role plays were those. However, when I asked them the last time, okay, what is your dream role? What is the role that you want to do? Then some of them started saying, no, my dream role is with Deloitte or a Wipro or an Infosys, or maybe they named a few organizations, right? So if your dream role or if your aspiration is to be in those organizations for whatever reasons, you need to do the role play according to that. Why are you taking up this startup which is set up in Bellary, and why are you doing that little drama here, right? So you need to prepare for what you want to aspire for, right? So that is also there. How many of the students really know what a startup is in this audience today? How many of them really know it is what a startup is and what it takes to work in a startup? Do they really know about it? That's also another question that I would like to ask.
That's what.
Right.
One more point I want to add is like
Yeah.
for the startup, as you said, there are few concepts like seed funding. Also, how they pull the money to the things, how they get invested. So all
Mhm.
these things, which I think students should know, like how the investments happen to a startup also, because
They can know. Yeah, I mean, that's another subject. They can understand those aspects and all that. But my question is, what is the dream role of these students today? What are they really? Maybe I think we should take a poll also. Okay, we've been preparing for such a long time. They're attending these courses. What is it that they really want to work for? Is it a large organization, or do they have some names in mind? Or do they want to really work for a startup? And if so, why? So I think we should ask those students also. I mean, are there any answers from your set of students? Have you probed them and asked them ever what is their aspiration, and have you got any answers? See, it's nice to say I want to work for a startup, but there are challenges for working in a startup. And
it's not only for
my thinking is, at this point of time, at this stage where they are, all of these students, they are looking, at least the mindset is, let me get a call from a company. I don't care whether it is a startup or a larger organization. I want to appear for an interview and get a job. That seems to be the mindset, right? But then if they go a little above that and really aspire for certain roles in a certain organization, they can work towards that. They can work towards that, rather than randomly getting into either a large organization or a startup or a some other kind of a smaller medium organization or whatever, right? That clarity, if it is there, then they can take a conscious decision where they want to work and why they want to work there, and what is it that they are contributing in that organization, or they can contribute to that organization. Make sense?
yes, sir. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So any ideas on what they really want to work? I mean, what is their dream role and all of that? I think that's a good question we can ask today. Some of these students, one of few of them answered the last time. And most of them in the role play, they said, we are a startup in Bellary, we are doing some IoT, this and that. I mean, it was nice to see that there are ideas coming up, but can we be a little more realistic? Is that really what you want to work for? If yes, then let's do it. If not, then let's do a role play of things that you want to aspire for, right? You in the sense the students, I mean, all these students. Yeah. Any ideas, any answers from the students? Any answers from the students? Can we get some, in the chat box, or if you want to speak up, what are some of your dream roles? You all, okay, all of you will say, I want to get a software role, a software job, a developer. You all mentioned that. I mean, I want to be this and that and all that, but any idea of the kind of companies you want to work for? Do you want to work for a startup? Or if not a specific company, can you at least say, I want to work for a large MNC where there are opportunities of working in more projects, or, chances of traveling perhaps, or maybe the salary package is better. Have you all thought about these things? Or do I want to work for a startup which is focused on a specific area, let's say IoT or drones or whatever, and I'm really passionate about that, and therefore I want to only work for that kind of an organization and a startup? Is that your thought process? What is your thought process? I cannot answer that for you. You have to answer that for yourself. Who wants to answer? You're doing all this role play, but for what purpose? Any answers? Students? Any idea? I mean, you must be having some idea of what you want to do, right? After this, okay, I want to be a developer, but for what kind of a company do I want to be a developer? I mean, I want to play the role of a developer, for example. Okay, now if you don't answer, I'm going to pick names from the participant list, or I already have the names anyway. So okay, I'm going to choose people to speak because there's no point staying silent, right? And what about the videos? I don't see a lot of videos on today. Okay, Kionics Hubli, there is a person in black shirt, a student in black shirt. Can you answer? Kionics Hubli, I see the video on. Yeah, can you come on? Yeah, can you unmute yourself and speak?
Sir, to gain experience, how the...
Okay, what is your name? What is your name?
Yusuf, sir.
Sorry, Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Yusuf, you've been attending some of these sessions, right? And we've been doing role plays, right?
Yes, sir.
So you want to, after all this course and after all these sessions, what do you want to do? You want to get into a job, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what kind of an organization are you aspiring to? What kind of an organization do you want to join? Do you have any idea? Have you even thought about it? No, you can be honest. If you've not thought about it, tell me, no, I don't know. I don't have any idea. You can say that. That's also a fair answer.
Didn't thought about that, sir.
You haven't thought about it. Okay. Anybody else in Kionics Hubli has thought about it? Okay. Do you know what is the difference between a startup and a large organization, Yusuf? Yusuf.
Sir, startup is a small company which has been started in
No, I'm not quizzing you. You can just tell me what you understand.
nearby.
Yeah, sorry?
Pardon, sir?
No, it's not a quiz question. What is your understanding? What do you understand by a startup and what is a large MNC or a large organization?
Startup is a new and a small company, sir,
Okay. And what is a large MNC?
which is a large company and has more employees.
Okay. So where would you want to work? If you're given a job, supposing tomorrow you're asked a call for interviews, where would you ideally want to work? You want to work for a startup or you want to work for an MNC?
First, I want to join startup, sir.
You
For
want
the
to join a
experience.
startup. Okay. Why?
For the experience, sir.
For the experience, you want to join a startup.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why will you may get an experience in a MNC also, right?
Yes, sir. But
No, supposing
Not
you
so
get an
much.
offer, supposing you get a job offer from a startup and an MNC, which one will you choose? You will choose a startup or an MNC?
sir, first I choose startup, sir,
Startup. Okay. Why?
to gain experience and how the market works like that, sir.
Okay. You will not get that experience in an MNC. You don't think you will get that experience. I mean, why not?
Yes, sir. If I wanted to join, In MNC companies and all, sir, they first ask the experience and all, sir.
Okay. Oh, so you are saying the MNC will not give you a job unless you have experience, and that is why you may not get a job in an MNC. That is your doubt.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But my question was, if you get both the jobs, supposing I give you one job of an MNC and one job of a startup, which one will you choose? Right now, today, if I say after you finish this course, you are a great student and you've done wonderfully well, and there is one MNC company which says, okay, I will give you this job of a developer, okay, and a startup also says, okay, you're a wonderful person, you are a smart student, so I'll give you a job in my startup. Which one will you choose? The MNC job or the startup job?
MNC, sir.
Okay, why?
Sir, it has more salary and more facilities in that, sir.
Okay, that is your perception, that they have more facilities, more salary. Eventually, you want to work for an MNC. That's what you want to do. Finally, you want to,
Yes, sir.
after some time, even if you start with a startup, you want
Yes,
to work for an MNC going in the future, right? I mean, that's what you want
Yes,
to do.
sir.
Okay, who else? Who else? Okay, Shri Ram Kamath is ready with an answer. Yeah, Shri Ram, you want to go ahead?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Yusuf. Yeah, Shri Ram, yeah.
So it can be MNC company or national company, or it can be
There's a
startup.
lot of echo in your, in your audio. There is a lot of echo in your audio.
Am I audible now, sir?
You're audible, yeah, but there's a little bit of echo. Yeah, try, okay, answer.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. It can be MNC company or national company, or it can be startup. Like I will be joining the company which will be offering the best job role, which I am expecting. So if they are offering me with the development team job, so it's not like I will be just coding and all. It should be a job where I can work in all the developing AI for all the fields. So it can be
Okay,
any.
somehow, Sriram, there is some echo. It's not very clear. I'm not feeling very comfortable hearing your audio. Can you do something about that? In the meantime, if you can do that, do something. In the meantime, we'll give it to some. I mean, I'm getting the drift of what you're saying, but is that just me or everybody else is also facing the same issue? Is his audio very clear? Can you understand what he's speaking? If not, can you just type no in the chat box? Echo is there. There's a lot of echo, which is not very, it's not making it very convenient for us to understand what you're saying. Okay, Harinakshi, you are there on the screen. No, not Harina. Your name is, sorry, your, who's there on the screen right now? The lady who was speaking with, I think your name, I forgot, 1 minute. No. Sorry, no, not Harinakshi. There is another lady from the student, one of the students.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. I mistook the name. So there's SSC Kyonix Haveri. What is that student's name? She was there on the screen. SSC Kyonix Haveri.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, what is the name of the student on the extreme right?
Myself, Chaitra, sir.
No, the other extreme right.
Hello, sir. It's Harsha Priya, sir.
Harsha Priya, sorry, I forgot your name. Yeah, so Harsha Priya, yeah, why don't I ask you? You've been doing a lot of, background work. You've been jotting down the list of teams and all of that. What is your dream role?
So, sir, to go for a startup company, sir, to get the better experience, sir, then go for MNC, sir.
Why a startup?
Sir, since they will be having some tiny issues, sir, like MNCs will be having all the solutions, sir, like for small problems and all, sir. Here in startup, we can go in deep into it, sir. We can learn totally that.
No, so are you no? So I want to understand what is your understanding of a startup and what is your understanding of a larger organization?
Okay, sir, like startup, it will be in the beginning stage, sir.
Okay.
Like we can thoroughly get into its finance, marketing, and how the job roles will be applied and how the employees.
You want to get into the finance, you want to get into marketing, you want to get into development. You are saying you will get all that experience in a startup.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And from that we can gain better knowledge, sir, as compared to MNC in the beginning, sir.
Okay, but then why do you then want to move on to an MNC? If the startup is giving you so much of exposure and experience, why not continue with the startup?
For better salary, sir.
Okay, so the startup will not give you better salary, MNC will give you better salary. Is that your
Yes,
thinking?
sir.
Okay.
And also for job security, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So what if you get an initial job in a MNC? Would you still go for a startup?
No, sir. If I get for MNC, I will not go for startups.
Okay, so your eventual dream is to get into an MNC, larger organization.
Yes, sir.
Startup is just to understand how to do the role. Is that what you're trying to? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, there's nothing right or wrong in this. It's your thinking. It's your thinking, and I just want to correct it if there is something. If you're not having the right perception or those kind of things, I may want to correct. But otherwise, yeah, you have your reasons for getting into. I want to understand what all of you all want to do, right? So based on that, we can prepare. Okay. What about Comtech Dharwad? There is this lady who always answers.
Yes, sir.
Green, yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Apurva from Comtech.
Yes, Apurva, yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
for your question, I prefer MNC company. As a fresher, I choose MNC company, sir. Because as changing the technology and the emerging the new things in the world, in there we can get a more knowledge about what we are doing by seeing the experience when we work. We learn our work, how we could work for a company. In startup company, there are lots of drawbacks because it is just a startup where we can face some financial problem or we can't we can learn something over there, but we can't take our knowledge through over that. So I prefer MNC companies.
No, I think Anil,
Yes.
if you don't mind, I will just enter into this.
Yes, please, sir. Please.
This girl was, whichever franchisee she was representing.
Yeah.
One thing they have to understand: startup is only for those kids who are thinking big and they want to learn cross domain. In a MNC company, I've been telling them, Anil, you also tell your experience. You will be only be trained in one single area, maybe in marketing or in HR or in finance. But in a startup, you will be working cross vertical. You will not be, you are expected to do anything and everything. That's a different challenge. Now the challenge is there, but learning is also there in a startup. So I think that is where their mindset is wrong. They feel that they are looking for joining maybe an Infosys or a Wipro, where you are just an elevated clerk till you don't hit the technical manager level. At an entry level for the next 7 years, they will not teach you anything. You are only doing coding. Correct me. And you are only doing a data entry operator's job. You might be paid a salary of 70 to 80,000 rupees. That is immaterial. But you're not learning anything. But in a startup, you might be getting a salary of 15, 20 or maximum 30. But you'll be learning so much that after maybe 3 years, you can join the same multinational at a middle management level. Correct me, Anil, if my evaluation is right or wrong.
No, so I mean, that's a fair thinking, sir. Again, the mindset has to be like you rightly pointed out. If at this stage, if you don't have a mindset of learning, then you will be stuck in something which you may not like going forward, right? So that you have to be open about, whether it is a startup or a, yes, the drawback with a larger organization is that if you join at an entry level at this stage, you might be stuck in doing something very monotonous for a long time, right? So that if you're able to take that risk and work in a startup where you get a lot of more experience, because it is a smaller organization, because they don't have so many resources, they can't afford to have so many people doing different things, you will have the the experience of working in a variety of things and learn at the same time, right? Like the other girl was saying, finance, marketing and all of that. I'm not too sure if you learn all of it, but yes, there'll be opportunities even within your in your space. You will be able to explore a lot more areas than if you were to just do some kind of a coding job, right? So because a startup is, if you observe, it's looking for solutions, immediate solutions, because they have to survive in the market and they want innovative ideas and someone who can solve their problems immediately, right? So if you can build that acumen, and if you can get that exposure and experience, it's really invaluable, right? So that is my take on that. And any other thoughts, anyone else, before we get started with the actual role plays? Yeah, so I think he's ready. Shriram, you're ready. Where are you? Are you ready? What I want to impress upon is, don't have a preconceived notion about this organization. This kind of organizations will be like these kind of organizations will be like this. More than that, you need to know what kind of a role you are getting into, and that is where that is during the interview or during the your research about that organization. You will come to know what is the role that you will be playing in that organization, right? If you're keen on growing your career, as sir was saying, I mean, if you initially struggle a little bit and get that rich experience and stretch yourself, in a few years time you will be ready to take on much larger roles even in a large organization, which otherwise you may not have been able to if you were just stuck up with some kind of coding kind of a role, or something very monotonous, right? Because you wouldn't be learning, you would be just doing that day in and day out, and you will be stuck with that kind of a role. Although it might be comfortable, although it might be fetching you some more money in the initial stages of your career, right? So you need to think about that. I mean, that is also because today the world has become so much more open digitally. There are a lot of options. A lot of youngsters are starting their own, they are having a lot of startups. New ideas are coming, and there are a lot more. There are a lot more options for getting into roles. So that is something, yes, you need to keep in mind. Okay, so who's joining? Who's next? Any last two? And why do you want to join that organization, if there is any different point of view? Yeah, Kavita Computers, right? Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, firstly, I want to join in startup company because we have to learn so many things so many sectors.
Okay, but tell me one thing. Just now we said all this. That's why you're saying this, or okay? Why do you think you will learn a lot of things in a startup? What is the reason? Why do you? Yeah, why do you think?
Get a lot of opportunity in a startup company, whereas in MNC company they will hire in particular sector,
Okay,
particular department. So we can't learn so much things in that field.
okay. But in a startup, the role will be only only confined to maybe that one particular product or one particular solution that they are working on, right? Supposing it's only IoT, a related product, you will be only working on that product. There won't be more exposure to other areas. What will you do then?
In fact, if they are offering only IoT, also they have a lot of departments in a organization. We have
I don't think they will have a lot of departments. A startup will not have a lot of departments as such. You will not have so many facilities because it's already a very small team of a few number of people, right? So they would. So what do you mean by departments?
with production level and some of testing level. So those are departments. We can do so many. We can learn so many departments in that.
Okay, so you are saying in a startup kind of a role, if you get into a startup, you will have the opportunity to see if they're building a product, let us say, you will have the opportunity to see right from the beginning how the product is conceived, then you make the product, how do you sell it in the market, what are the, constraints in selling it in the market and so many other things. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
And then you'll see the full cycle and then they learn from the market and then again they improve the product. You will be part of that entire complete cycle of that product development and product selling, and therefore it will be more exciting. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, if that is your understanding, it's good. So therefore you will have more exposure is what you're saying, right? Although it will be in one particular it will be in one, let's say it's an IoT related product, you will be just doing that same product development. I mean, you'll be part of that entire, you'll be part of the team. So tell me one thing, then supposing tomorrow the company, so what are the transferable skills? What are the skills that you will build in a startup, which you can then take it to maybe some other organization after you're done with, maybe working with that role or in that role, or if you want to jump to another role? What are the skills?
We also having opportunity to leave that one company and move to next company. Then we can learn so many technology for different companies.
Technology will be only IoT. You would have only done something in the IoT product. So, but what is that skill that you have developed while working in that startup, which you can take to any other startup or any other larger organization? Tomorrow, after let's say 1 or 2 years or 3 years of working in that startup, you are now saying, okay, now I want to move to a bigger role or a better role and I want to look out, or whatever the reason. What are those skills that you will take to that next role? The skills are your knowledge about, how a product is developed, product development, then how you test a product, that you can apply in some other product also, right? The same skill you can actually apply in some other product. It need not be IoT, it can be something else. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So those are the skills you will transfer, and those are very valuable skills, which you will not get if you were just doing only coding day in and day out. You were just writing some piece of code and without knowing what it is meant for and without knowing where it is going and where does it see the end of the tunnel or whatever, right? So if that is the case, then yeah, so you got my point. All right, the last one, please. After that, we will go on with the role play. The last one, please. Shri Ram, if you're ready, we can go ahead with you.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, it's much better. Looks like. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So it can be a startup company, it can be a national company, it can be a multinational company. So I am focusing on development of AI. So I will be joining the company which which are getting projects from various industries in the IT AI development field. So which where I can grow, where I can learn new technical skills and other skills, and I can grow in few years. So I will be focusing on that company.
Okay, so you want to focus on the role, not the company per se, but the role that you're going to get into, basically.
Yes.
Right? Okay, fine, fair enough. All right, so can we get started with the, so good answers, good thinking. I thought it was important to know this because we had an initial question about this. And then I wanted to know what you all understand by a startup or an MNC and what your aspirations are, right? If anyone else wants to speak up, they're welcome, but otherwise let's move on. Can we get started with the role play? So since you are there, Sriram, on the screen already, can we do your role play? You were, I think last time there was there was some issue. Are you both prepared today or you are not?
Sir, my partner Araj is feeling not well, so he's attending from the home. So can me and Suman do the project?
I don't mind. Yeah, anybody can do as long as the role play is good. I don't mind. Yeah. So whoever is there can do the role play.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you ready, or you want to anyone you want to wait for some time and then someone else does it? Let me pull out that list of teams. Meanwhile.
Yes, anyone who is ready, they can proceed, sir. We'll just set up the things.
Okay. Who's ready with the setup for the role play? I'm just pulling out that team list. Okay. Sharp Computers. You've shared the list again, is it? Okay. Okay, the first team, asset system, she's not there. They're not there today, I gather. Let me pull out last time who all had done. Okay, there was a team last time. I had, I think it was Chetan and Pooja Naik. Sharp Computers, Belgavi. Are you there today? I had given you some feedback, and Sharp Computers, Belgavi.
This is the L2 faculty of Belgaum, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, they are having a exam.
Okay, they are not there. Basically, they are not there today.
No, sir, they are not there, sir.
Okay, fine.
In the next section, they will.
Okay, so fine. Who else? I'm just seeing who else had given some feedback the last time.
My apologies, Anil. There are some students who are writing exams.
Okay.
So I think you can keep it up for the next session for those students. Whoever available, you carry on with your evaluation.
Okay, so I mean that's what I'm just pulling out that list, and from that list, whoever is available, because anyway it's going to take some time.
But Anil, kindly give your September evaluation latest by 7th, because I have to declare the star of the month on 10th of October.
All right.
So kindly, my request is,
all right,
here for the next 6-7 days. So I'm coming back on 10th. So I will declare. Kindly send your evaluation of September by 7th of October.
All right. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let me, so then let's go in this sequence then, since some of you are having your exams. If we'll go in the sequence, whoever is there. Asset Systems, Raichur, Halima and Muskan on extended reality, they're not there. Vaishali Computers, Shazia, Hina and Anusha, they're already done. I think those have done. No, Shazia and Anusha.
Very good.
Had done. They have done it. They have done it last time.
Yeah, I can have one more.
And who team 2, Ravichandra, C and Abhijit, are you done? Yeah, I think they are also done. Madhu and Akhil, they had also done it last time. Now, Asset Systems, Raichur, Madan Kumar and Vajida, are you there? Asset Systems, Raichur. SH System, Raichur. Okay.
Mother is not available, sir. She is still coming. We have heavy rains.
Okay, so you're not available today. That's what you're saying. Okay.
We will come next after any.
Okay, fine. SSC have a, see, okay, I'm going through this list, but in the meanwhile, if someone wants to go ahead, please raise your hand and go ahead. SSC ready, sir. SSC Kionics. Who's SSC Kionics? Who's, okay, this is Harshapriya, is it? Okay, your team is ready. Okay, who all are ready? What's your team?
Myself, Harshapriya and Bindu, sir.
Okay, so let me pull out your name. Yeah, okay, I have your name here. Yeah, and what is your topic?
Artificial intelligence, sir, based on that.
Mhm. Okay, so who's the interviewer and who is the interviewee?
I'm interviewer, sir. Bindu is interviewee, sir.
So she's the candidate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is your company about, Harshapriya? Before we get into the role play.
Yes, sir. So the company name is Data Nest, sir. Its
Mhm.
headquarters is in Bangalore.
Mhm.
In Haveri, we have its branch, sir.
Mhm.
And we are looking for data scientist job also.
Okay, and how big is your company? How old is your company?
Since it's a startup, sir, headquarters it started in 2016, sir. So in Haveri, it started last year, sir, 2021.
Okay, what is the name of the company? Is it a fictitious company or is it a real company?
Fictitious, sir.
Okay, okay. So you have made up this company for yourself.
Yes, sir.
How big is your company?
Like for 13 to 15 members, sir.
No, is it 13 to 15 or 50? I mean, there has to be some specific number, right? It can't be 13 to 15.
13, sir.
13 people, 13 member team.
13 people, yes, sir.
Okay, and what is your role?
I'm the HR, sir.
You're the HR of the 13 people. You're one of those 13.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what does the company do?
It collects the data, sir, from retailers or industries, sir. It will analyze the data and it will predict the outcomes, future outcome, through some set of algorithms and also.
What kind of data and what kind of outcome?
Like profits and also.
No, so there is so much data, no? Data. So there is data about I watch television. So there is data about people watching television, and the output of that can be how many hours of television and which channel people are watching. Will they do that also? Your company will do that?
No, sir.
So what is the data that your companies? What is the object? What is the core activity your organization is doing?
Future profit or loss of some sales industries and also.
So they're only predicting the
Yes, sir. They
profits.
just predict, sir.
Predict what? The future prospects of
Future outcomes, sir. Whether it will go with profit or it will go with loss, sir.
Okay, interesting. But why have you selected this? What is the thinking behind coming up with this kind of a startup?
As it's based on AI, sir, and many starting companies may not know what will their future profit and how loss it will be going, sir. So we can convey them how the profit or loss will be happening in their according to their data collections. Sir.
Okay. So who are your customers?
Retailers or industries, not big, sir, like just small.
Retailers. So
Yes,
what
sir.
kind of retailers? I mean, all the shops, or what kind of retailers? Who are your customers? Where do you do business? How do you do business? So you have a product. Do you have
no product, sir.
Okay, so you
just collect the data from them.
You collect their data and then analyze it and give them a
outcomes.
Predict yes. What? You predict that whether your company will survive, or I mean, what is the future of your company going to look like? Is that what you?
Yes, sir.
So who will come to you? What are the kind of companies or organizations that come to you for this kind of a service?
Small traders, sir. Trading companies, industries.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay. Can you give me some example? Traders, meaning what? What kind of traders and what kind of industries?
Like, sir, if they have a product, sir. In a shopping mall, we can take, sir. They're selling products, sir. So we can collect the data, sir. Monthly, the purchase or past data, sir. We will collect all those, sir, and we can predict if it's going in a profit level or in a loss. Sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Tell me one thing. Why did you choose this topic, Harshapriya? Was it your choice or somebody told you to choose this?
No, sir. Our domain is AI, sir. So
but AI can be used in so many other things also. Why you have chosen this? Why have you chosen only this particular area of profit loss and prediction and companies?
Right
what
now,
is your thinking? I want to understand your thinking.
Yes, sir. Like right now, our syllabus is going on these algorithms and also, so we just took this topic.
Okay, fair enough. So that is your startup. It is a small company, 13-member team, and you are the HR person. And then what your company does is you basically, your customers are people, traders and all these retailers. They come to you asking whether they're, if you can predict their future.
Yes,
is that what you do? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then you tell them, okay, you give us your data and we will try to analyze that and we'll tell you how well or how bad you will do in the future.
Yes, sir.
Going forward. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are you looking for then? You have 13 people now. So what do you want to do? You're based out of Bangalore. Your company is based in Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
And what are you hiring for and why?
For data scientist.
You're hiring a data scientist. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with what experience?
Fresher, sir.
Fresher.
Or experienced also. Both, sir.
Fresher data scientist. Data scientist. Are there data scientists who are freshers? I don't know. I'm asking you.
No, sir. We will train them, sir. We will take with basic knowledge, sir, and we will train them, sir.
What kind of knowledge are you looking for?
In machine learning, sir, we will use set of algorithms, sir, like to predict the values and all, sir.
No. So what is the background of the candidate? What kind of a degree you're looking for, or what are the qualifications? What are the qualifications you're looking for?
BE graduate, sir, and MCA, sir, and he or she should have some basic knowledge about that, sir.
Basic knowledge about?
About data scientist roles, sir, like what they will be doing there.
Okay, and you will train them on data science?
Yes, sir, for a freshers only, sir.
Okay, so right now you're looking only for freshers. This role is, what is the designation you're going to offer them?
BE graduate or MCA graduate, sir.
No. What is the designation? In your company, what will the designation be?
Data scientist.
You will call them as data scientists, is it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Who's going to train them?
We are having some trainers here, sir, in our department.
So in your organization, already there are some senior data scientists and
Yes,
people
sir.
who are doing that. They will train these freshers so that they can do this analysis for your clients and
Yes.
you can expand. Why are you expanding into Haveri?
As we have a few like technical colleges and also, since it's a developing area, sir. So we can get some creative ideas from them also, sir.
No. Haveri, you're expanding, you're going for interviews or you're expanding your organization there? Your company is based in Bangalore, right?
Yes, sir.
But you're opening another center in Haveri?
Yes, sir.
Why Haveri?
Yes, sir. We don't have plans, sir, but we are thinking to expand here, sir.
Okay. No, so I thought you wanted to expand your operations in Haveri. I wanted to know, why did you choose Haveri?
Yes, sir. Like we don't have any branch in this, like in the city, sir.
But you don't have branch in so many other cities. Why Belgaum also you don't have in Mysore. You don't have in, why not? Why did you choose only Haveri?
So I can say that it's my birthplace. Sorry.
Okay, you want to open a center in Haveri because it's more, you have more people and you have
more people's connection.
I want to know the reason. I want to know the reason why you're choosing that place. Okay, Bangalore, you started your company. Now but you are not the owner. You're just the HR person. The owner is somebody else. I mean, the startup founder is somebody else. The founder wants to open up another center in Haveri, right? Because they have certain personal affiliation for Haveri and they want to open some center in Haveri. That is the reason, right?
Yes, and like I can get connections here, sir. More connections.
You can get more connections. They think they can get more connections in Haveri. That's what the founder is thinking like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you seem to have done some research, some thinking, and some background work on what your company is about. So fair enough. That's a good assumption. And what are you going to offer this? What kind of this role? How are you going to groom this candidate? The fresher. What is the? How will you develop this? Why should the candidate join your company? Let me ask you this question. Why not join an MNC?
Like since it's a it will be a startup in Haveri, sir. So they can get to know more knowledge, sir. Like for in real life, you can take like few members don't want to go for other cities and learn things, sir. Like just graduates and also. So they can get in this place only, sir. Local area.
Okay, so you're tapping that kind of students who don't want to go out of Haveri and they want to, have the initial experience in Haveri for a few years. You want to train them and, also get some work out of them for your organization. That's your thinking? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, who's the candidate? What is the name of the candidate?
Hello.
Yeah, what's your name?
Bindu.
Okay, Bindu, what are you doing and why have you appeared for this interview? Why are you appearing for this interview?
Basically, I am from Haveri, sir.
Okay.
I have to work in Haveri.
Okay, where did you get to know about this job?
In Indeed, sir, I have uploaded my resume, sir. According to my skill set, they are hiring. They are recommended, sir.
They asked you to appear for this interview. Who called you for this interview?
Indeed, it recommended me, sir.
No, they recommended you, but who asked you to, who scheduled your interview and the time and who called you for this interview? Someone from this company?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the role that you're applying for?
Data scientist, sir.
Okay. Okay, what is, you know about data science and all that, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what is this company doing?
Company collecting the data and analyzing the data, sir, and predict the future data, sir.
Predict the future data.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Future outcomes.
Future outcome. Okay, not future data, but predict the future, maybe some results, or they predict the
Yes, sir.
they forecast, right? They forecast the future. Okay, but who are the customers? Do they have a website? This company has a website?
Yes, sir.
Have you gone to their website?
Yes, sir.
How big is the company?
It is a startup, sir. It is started in last year.
Last year only. Okay. Do you know how many people work there?
13, sir.
How do you know?
From the website, sir. I have
From the website. Okay. The website mentions that there are 13 people.
Yes, sir.
Usually they may not, but anyway, so that's fine. All right, so let's get started. I will not quiz you further. Let's see how you're going to do that. So the rule is you're going to have this role play for how long?
10 minutes, sir.
10 minutes. And for the 10 minutes, you have to keep the audience engaged. All of us should be interested in hearing what you both are conversing or discussing about, right? Yes. It shouldn't be boring. At least 10 minutes, minimum 10 minutes. It should continue without anyone intervening. I should not ask you questions or stop you or anything like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hopefully I'll not intervene, but yeah, let's get started and we'll go ahead with the role play. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
If the audio, see right now the audio is fine. In case the audio becomes, so I'm just, this is just a suggestion. If you change places and the audio becomes bad and all that, don't do all that moving too much. If you're in that same position, you can talk. Just maybe you can shift a little bit and then continue your role play, because we don't want to waste time in all this organization, right? I think it was all right the last time. Both of you were sitting almost face to face. You could have just turned a little around, and anyway, I leave it to you.
May I come in, ma'am?
Yes, come in.
This is my resume, ma'am.
Okay. Please sit down.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Bindu, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I see that you have applied for data scientist job role.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is AI in general terms? Yeah, Bindu, any problem?
No, ma'am. Basically, AI is the artificial intelligence. It is putting the human intelligence intelligence into machines, thinking like human being and acting like human being and make decision like human being, ma'am.
Okay. So as you see, artificial intelligence is very vast.
Yes, ma'am.
So on particularly what part of AI are you expertised?
I am expertising in machine learning, ma'am.
Okay. So how AI is related to machine learning? So can you show me using pen and paper? Can
Yes,
you tell
ma'am.
me? Yeah. Just go on.
Ma'am, and I can say that AI is the superset of ML and ML is the subset of AI, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So tell me the types and difference between the types of ML.
In machine learning, we have two types, ma'am. First one is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Coming to supervised learning, we train the model by providing the expected input, and in supervised learning, we are providing the labeled data by providing labeled data and expect the labeled output in labeled data. In coming to unsupervised learning, we train the model by unlabeled data and expect the output in unlabeled data. In coming to supervised learning, there are two types, ma'am. Regression and classification. In coming to unsupervised learning, there are clustering and association, ma'am.
Okay, so don't you think you have missed one more type?
I forgot, ma'am.
Yes, that is.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. It's reinforcement.
Okay.
Okay. So you see in a cabin, in my cabin,
Yes.
we can see Alexa. Okay. So can you tell me which part of ML are you using there?
In Alexa, they are using deep learning, ma'am. It is basically NLP. NLP is a natural language processing, ma'am.
Okay, so can you tell me how?
Yes, ma'am. In natural language processing, it can understand the human language by neural networks, ma'am, and give the same reply.
Okay, fine. That's right. So now, if I want to classify images,
Yes, ma'am.
so which concept can you use in ML?
We have used three types of networks, ma'am. Neural ANN, CNN, and RNN. For the image classification, used concurrent neural networks, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So do you have any other questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so have you done any projects?
I am currently working on project, ma'am, heart rate and respiration rate monitoring.
Okay, so can you elaborate on that?
In our project, you have taken the video and extracted from pixels from forehead to chin and expect the output in digital form, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So do you have any other skills than this?
Yes, ma'am. I have leadership qualities, good motivator, ma'am.
Okay, so how good motivator you are?
I have visited my village in one school, ma'am. I will motivate the students about technical skills, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we will let you know the results. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Got over.
Done.
Yes, sir.
Are 10 minutes over?
Not, sir.
Okay, fine. So now the audience, I want the audience to rate them like last time. Can we get some ratings for them? I don't want to keep repeating this question. Can we get ratings on a scale of 1 to 10? How the role play was done and how will you rate the role play? 1 being poor and 10 being excellent. In the chat box, quickly, 6 out of 10, Altaf. So only Altaf kind of has the first response. Students, what about the students and the rest of them? Quick. Okay, while we're getting, okay, Srishti Infotech. Again, I want the name. The whole Infotech is not, that whole sector is not rating, no? Is it all of you are rating them 6 out of 10 or there is a particular person who's rating them 6 out of 10? I want the name and the rating. Sumant. Okay, 6 out of 10. What about the others? Okay, Harsha Priya, do you think you will take her for the role?
I will test other candidates and get back to her, sir.
No, so that is getting back is fine. But what do you think? You will take her? How is she? What will you rate her? Will you take her for the job?
No, sir.
Why?
I think she didn't have that good communication, sir, and the way how she conveyed the answers, sir.
Okay. What? For example, can you tell me some examples?
She was trying to guess the answers, sir, and she forgot a few concepts, sir. So, on the basis of that, sir.
Okay. So you'll not hire her. Basically, you'll not hire her.
No, sir.
She's not even shortlisted, basically.
No, sir. Since it was selection out of a very low evaluation, sir. So, no, sir.
Okay. Bindu, do you think you will get the job?
No, sir.
It's not. Sorry?
No, sir.
Why?
I was little nervous, sir.
Okay, a little now, but you had a lot of time to prepare. Like I think the last 3 sessions we've been doing this preparation. So how will you, if the mock interview? Yeah. Sorry?
It was my first interview, sir.
Okay. Okay, what were only nervous, or what do you think you did not answer well? What didn't go well, according to you? Meanwhile, I'm waiting for the others to rate. Okay, nobody is rating. I just got 2 ratings. What about the other students? Anusha, 6 out of 10 from Anusha. Okay. Okay, by the way, the role play, you need not have started from may I come in and all that stuff, because I already told you this is the middle of the interview. You're already sitting, all that introduction and everything is already over. You were supposed to do the section where you're doing a deep dive into that specific area. In your case, it was AI, right? So that was okay. I mean, that's fine. Even if you did that, that's okay. But so many mistakes, I mean, so many things, again, like she's asking you 2 times, 3 times she asked you, do you have any questions? And there was absolutely no, no, I don't have any questions. There was no energy. There was no enthusiasm. There was no, it didn't look like you wanted to work for this company at all, or you were not prepared, right? So I don't want to get into those details, but I think that lack of energy, everybody was able to see. So I mean, those are even basics. It's not even about the deeper knowledge of that topic, AI and all of that. The basic energy in the role play was missing.
Oh, Anil, they will only rate once they attend. I see today only 50% attendance is there. What, they have already got an off from their respective centers for puja holidays or something? I don't know. Why so attendance is so low? Can the L2 go one by one? What is the attendance of Shishti Infotech? 7. What is the attendance of Vaishali? Vaishali, Shishti, what is the Infotech? What is the attendance? Can student tell me?
Trying to check, sir. I need to check. I don't have the exact count here, to be frank.
No, that's why I'm asking, Altaf. That is why I'm asking your center.
Okay.
Shishti Infotech Kundapura. How many are attending today? Answer, damn it. Shishti Infotech Kundapura, how many students are there? How many students are there in your center?
Yes, sir. 6 we are attending from center and 1 from online. 2 from online.
6 are only there. Vaishali computers, how many are attending? Compact Dharwad, I can see 2. Why? Are you all enjoying the holiday?
Sir, I am attending online, sir. 1 more.
Okay. That is 3.
Yes,
SSC
sir.
Haveri, how many are attending? SSC Haveri, can't you hear me?
Yes, sir. 3 members, sir.
Why?
Sir,
Have they declared a holiday?
no, sir, no. Due to ill health and some climatic conditions,
All
they
are
have
ill
not.
health. All 7 are ill health, huh?
No, sir.
That
2
is
members.
why after the interview, you have all gone ill health. None of you will get a job. What is the use of doing these sessions if you people don't attend these sessions then? So when Anil is asking you the please rate, first of all you have to attend. No, then only you will rate. You all are gone in a puja mode, Dasara mode. Huh? I told you this training session you have to forget your for the 4 months your festivals. You have to totally deep dive into your understanding, which is not happening. Anil, are you really happy with the way the role plays are going? Tell me frankly.
Not really. I mean, there seems to be a lot of push. Okay, first of all, the role play can be prepared, but even the responses, I think rating, I have to keep prompting them for rating, prompting them for coming up on screen. You should be ready and you should be saying, I'm ready next, right? We already have a list of 10 teams, so each of them should work, right?
So the total enthusiasm is missing towards the role play. I mean, even you are not even using your assignment knowledge and all. It gives me a feel of what sort of a training you are getting. You are not making use of the assignment knowledge. You are not making use of anything. Project knowledge. That you are, as Madam also was telling yesterday, you are hearing the session and then you are just relaxing. That okay, next day again I will go for one more session. These sessions are not incorporated sessions wherein you will only learn from the book. Nobody can teach you interview. Nobody can teach you role play. You have to physically play it. That's not happening. KTC Hubli, I can see only 2 of them. Where are the remaining? KTC Hubli. Where are the students?
So they went to exam, sir.
They went to exam. Everybody is writing exams. At 5 o'clock, you are writing exam. Huh? You are giving me that crap, I have to take it. Which college takes exam at 5 o'clock? Can't you attend from online? What stopped you from attending from your respective mobile phones? Nobody stops you when you are writing your exams. That means you will stop attending session 5 hours before the exam and 5 hours after. You are relaxing after the exams. Then you should get 99% no, in your exams. Are you getting 95 to 99%? I have my doubts. I'll check up in your college. So you are fooling yourself. When you are getting these vital sessions and you are not a part of it, I mean, how do you feel that you get a job? These are the sessions which is live sessions. Others are teaching you. He is now taking a session where you can use your teaching and make use of that knowledge and tell him how you are, understanding. L2, are you understanding where they are going wrong? I think they need to be told that these interview sessions are important. Either they don't want to come out of the shell, they continue to be in the shell, they will never come out of the shell. You have to give interviews to come out of the shell. Or you are taking it as one more session. Role play interview cannot be learned from the book. It has to be practiced. Carry on, Anil. Carry on.
Yeah, all right. So thank you, sir, again, once again for, pulling them up. Yeah, so the point is, I mean, I want to see that energy in the role play, right? I mean, if you're going for an interview, okay, let's assume we do all these 10 role plays and we rate you and all of that. The point is when you go for an actual interview, the person who's going to ask you questions needs to be excited about you. Otherwise, why will they give you that job? Do you think in these role plays you're doing that? You're not doing that, no? So I want an interesting conversation. Let's see who's, okay, let's go to the next one. Who's going to do next? Who's ready? And every time when I say who's, yeah. Who's ready? I think there's a chat. Sorry, Srishti Infotech. Okay, whoever. Okay, so then, yeah, you can go ahead and start your role play. Just get started. CK Tech, is it? CK Tech. Let me pull out your
yes, sir.
details. CK Tech. Where is CK
Sir,
Tech?
we didn't hear, sir. There was a voice break.
Sorry?
We didn't hear, sir. There was a voice break.
No. So I'm asking you, which center are you from? CK Tech.
Yes, sir. We are from CK. My name is Anil Kumar, and I am interviewer. And our is Deepa, and she is interviewer.
There is a lot of echo. There is a lot of echo. Can you fix that?
Okay.
Is it audible? Sir, is it audible, sir?
It is audible. Yeah, it's audible, but there seems to be an echo. But okay, let's see. Let's see you speak. Let's hear you speak. So this is CK Tech. Which center is this? Do you have a full form of this? Because I don't see you.
Chandrakant Technologies, sir.
Sorry?
Chandrakant Technologies.
Chandrakant Technologies.
Is it they're coming on?
Deepa and Pavan, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But definitely there is a lot of echo. It's not very pleasant to hear. If you can fix that, that will be great. I think it's not going to be very audible, very pleasant to hear this way. If you can bring the mic to your table or something like that, okay? I mean, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to catch what you're saying. Meanwhile, I think that's going to take them a while. Can we go to Srishti Infotech? They seem to be ready. If you are ready, Srishti Infotech. Are you ready, Srishti Infotech?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you fixed your audio and all of that?
Yes, sir. Are you audible, sir? Is it clear, sir?
Somewhat. Okay, go ahead. Let's see. Okay, by the way, Srishti Infotech, last time we did a role play in your your thing, and then there was a feedback, right? There was a feedback. And how many students are there? Every time I see only you, Sriram, which is okay. I mean, you're taking the advantage of the sessions and learning, which is good. But what about the others? Are they even learning, or they just want one performer to come on stage every time? So I'm okay to take multiple teams, but I only see one team always. And in that one team, he's always there. So, which is okay. He's learning, but what about the others? And there was a feedback last time, right? I remember now. So I just pulled out. So actually we've done your role play, but since you are ready again and you want to do it again, I don't mind doing it again. Hopefully you will incorporate all that feedback. Yeah. Okay. So who's the interviewer and who's the interviewee?
The interviewer, sir, and Suman is the.
Okay. What is the company you're representing, and or what is the background?
Yes, sir. We are a MNC company. Our main branch head office is located in Bangalore, and we have 150 branches all over the globe. We are mainly providing the best IT solutions for the industries like automobile, banking, pharmaceuticals, and much more. So we are mainly focusing on AI technologies for these industries. And we are currently hiring.
Okay, your audio is not that clear. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, but it's not clear. So that's the point. It's not clear. So I can't, I'm struggling to hear clearly. So if that is going to happen, then the whole interview, I don't know how I'm going to listen to.
Just a minute, sir.
No, your audio is also bad. Have you fixed it, CK Tech?
Yes, sir. Can you, now you can hear, sir?
Yes, now it's much better. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah. So who's the interviewer, CK Tech?
Sir, my name is Pawan. I'm interviewing.
You are Pawan, right?
Yes,
You will be interviewing. You are the interviewer. Okay. Okay. What is your company? What is the situation of the role play? Can you explain that?
Sir, actually, we are a product-based company, sir. Our company name is Beyond EV. We are manufacturing two-wheelers of EV.
Sorry, you're manufacturing two-wheelers.
Two-wheelers, sir. EV two-wheelers, sir.
Okay.
And our aim is to convert non-conventional to GoTrain, sir. Our main mission is to convert city into smart city. In that, we are come under the automobile.
No, there's a lot of echo again. You're converting what to what?
Sir, that is polluted nation, sir.
Mhm.
Now it is presently a polluted nation. We have to convert it to a smart city. Under that, urban mobility also plays vital role. So we are thinking of going green, sir, for pure electric.
Okay. Are the others able to hear him well, or is it just me? Are the others able to hear him well? Are you able to? There's a lot of muffle, and I'm not able to make. Hear the words very clearly. No, it's not clear. Your audio is not clear.
Okay, sir. We'll try to fix it, sir.
Yeah. Because if I have to hear the whole role play, my whole mind isn't trying to catch your words, not listening to your conversation. Who else is ready? I think the last team, Harshapriya and the other team, they had a nice mic and they were able, it was clear. You should have some facility like that, no? The rest of the teams. I see a lot of names, but no videos and no responses. There are how many? I think there are plenty of names on the screen. Rekha Comtech, Anupama Patil, Kavita Computers, Shrishti Infotech, Uday Kumar, Madhu Barki, this and that. Nobody is there on video and nobody is responding to anything. We're waiting for people to start their session, the role play. One or two start and then there is a lot of echo problem or audio problem. They have to fix it. Aren't we wasting a lot of time?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Are you audible, sir? Audible now, sir. Is it clear, sir?
Somewhat. Yeah.
From 15 perspective.
Yeah, speak up a little more, no? Open up a little more. Let's speak and then let's hear.
Are you audible now, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
Is that clear, sir?
Okay. Yeah, somewhat clear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, give me the background of the organization. Yeah.
So we are basically a MNC company, sir. We have more than 150 branches, and our head office is located at Bangalore. So we are currently we are providing the best solutions for the industries like banking, insurance, medical, automobile, and other industries.
What solutions are you providing to these industries?
AI IT solutions, sir.
AI IT solutions. Okay.
Yes. AI solutions is one of those companies. We are basically a B2B company.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently hiring on the post of AI developer.
I think there is a position of your mic. If you hold it properly, yeah, sometimes it's, yeah, go ahead. I think you have to speak into that mic.
Yes, sir. We are currently hiring for the post of AI developer.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking for both freshers and experienced people for both junior and senior level.
You're hiring for fresher and experienced people. And what was the last thing you said?
For senior and junior level.
For senior and junior level. What is the designations that you're looking for?
AI developer, senior AI developer and assistant AI.
Okay. Okay, what sort of solutions you provide? You said AI IT solutions to all these industries. Can you give me one example?
Yes, sir. We are like providing AI solutions for banking industry. So we are providing chatbots for banking industry, which can automate the procedure of loan and credit card approval.
Mhm. That is for banking. What about the other industries? One or two more examples.
So for pharmaceuticals, we are like helping with them with the data processing. So for the medicine testing, we are gathering the data and analyzing the data, and we are helping with them with the testing stage.
You're helping with?
Testing the data. We are helping with the data processing.
You're helping with data processing.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to feedback, sometimes your voice is very clear, sometimes it becomes muffled. So I think it is some position of your mic. I don't know how to fix this, but yeah, it's really very inconvenient to hear like this. But yeah, we'll try because it's somewhat clear sometimes. I think you have to hold it in a certain position and something is wrong. Otherwise, sometimes it becomes muffled. Okay, so okay, how old is your company?
So it started in 1968 sir, as a computer manufacturing company. So in 2010, we have from the computer manufacturing, we have joined to the IT solutions, sir. And in 2015, we have started the AI branch.
Okay, now where are you hiring these AI developers and senior AI developers? So where are you going to hire these people from?
From all parts, sir.
From?
All parts of India.
All parts of India. But what is your procedure of hiring? Have you advertised? How have you started hiring for these people, positions?
So we have already advertised through our website, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So most of your aspirants can apply for the job, and there will be a three-step selection process. First two steps will be written test for them, and the second interview. So those people who have selected in first two criteria, they will be called for an interview to Bangalore.
To Bangalore.
Yes.
Okay. So the second is also a telephonic interview, is it?
Yes. It's
First. Sorry?
written test.
First is a written test. What is the second round? It's an interview.
Yes.
Okay. So you've advertised in the newspaper, advertised in LinkedIn and on your website and all of that. And are you not going for campus interviews and all of that?
We are not currently going for a campus interview.
Okay. Why?
So we want urgent requirement. We are hiring, and so we are not spending much more time on campus.
Okay. How many people are you planning to hire for these roles?
The senior role, we are trying to hire 50 people, and for
50.
the
50.
Yes.
For junior. I mean
for senior.
For senior. And for the AI developer role, how many people are you hiring?
For the junior role, we are hiring 150.
150. So total 200.
Yes.
Okay. So how many people have applied so far? Roughly, and what has been the response, and how many you filtered them? All of these you've done your written test. Okay.
Yes, sir. More than 4,000 people have applied. So we have filtered through them, and we have selected the 250 final interview, and we will select the best 200.
So of the 250, you're going to hire 200.
Yes.
Okay. So now this is the final round of interview.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So so when you hire them, what are you going to put them in? What kind of roles are they going to do? I mean, okay, they are AI developers, but what kind of projects are they going to get into, and what is the job that they're going to do? What is their job description?
So we are currently having a research team and a like project team. So we are like basically for the development only. So they will be developing the AI, which is researched by another team.
Sorry, it was not clear.
So there is another team for
maybe you hold it like this. Hold it like this. Yeah, yeah.
there is another team where the people of that team research on the project. So what is the requirement of the client, and they give a plan to the development team. So these people will be joining to the development team where they will be building the AI model.
Okay. I did not understand that very clearly, but okay, go ahead. So what are they going to do? Are they going to do only coding, or do you have a roadmap for their growth, and how do you groom them and all of that? Is there a plan for these people?
For the junior level employees, they will be like in the coding field for 3 to 4 years. Then they can, on their potential, we will be giving them increment.
Okay, are you going to train them in the initial years on some things?
There will be like a 3-phase training model. So they will be training for 6 months, and they will be working in three different phases.
Okay, so while training, they'll be in parallel, they'll be working also, is what you're saying, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like they will be giving, we will provide them with the low-level projects, and they will start working with those. And after the training period, we will we will give them the most important ones.
Okay, go give it to the candidate now.
Okay. Good evening, sir. My name is Suman from 15 Product.
Good evening. Yeah. So, why have you applied for this role?
So my interest on AI field, and I also completed the course on AI with Python. So I thought this was the correct, perfect role for my career. So I selected this.
Okay. How did you come to know about this role?
So I have a LinkedIn account. So I got that news from their LinkedIn profile that they are requiring AI developers. So I have completed this course. So I am I researched in their website. So they are some recruitment. So I applied the course.
Okay, through LinkedIn, you have applied for this role. Okay. By the way, do you really have a LinkedIn account?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so your interest is in AI field, and that is why you have applied for this role, is it? What is the role? What is the role description?
The role description is that, sir, like we have selected in this recruitment, I am applying for junior AI developer. So they are providing 6 months training for this. So this will increase the knowledge in my career, sir. So this will help, sir.
No. So what is the role? What are you going to do there in the company? What is your role?
So junior, assistant in AI development.
That is your designation, but what is the activity that you will be doing?
So coding, sir. So like developing code for AI solutions, software solutions.
Okay, what kind of solutions will you be developing code for?
So like some in different industries, we are providing solutions for that industries through AI.
Okay, which are those industries? Have you done some research?
Yes, in like I research that they have industries like business and industries, marketing and pharmaceuticals, and also automobiles. So these type of industries.
No. Which industries do they serve? I'm talking about the industries. Where do they provide solutions? Which kind of solutions? For which industries do they provide the solutions?
There are multiple industries. So they are B2B software solutions. So they are providing multiple industries of IT solutions.
Yeah. So what are those multiple industries? Can you give me one example, one or two or few examples of the industries for which there's do you understand what an industry means?
Yes. Like your means automobile industries, medical industries.
Right. Like automobile or banking, or which other industries do they provide solutions for?
So banking, automobiles, and pharmaceuticals. So these type of industries there.
They are providing AI solutions for those. And so you will be a developer in one of those projects where they are providing those solutions to one of those industries. Is it? Okay. You're happy with that role?
Yes, sir. I'm interested in that also.
Okay. Why don't you think you should join a startup? Why do you want to join this company?
So my interest in providing new solutions and developing some AI solutions. So according to my interest, I am seeking for jobs.
All right. Fair enough. So let's get started with the role play then. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So again, rules, you know, right? 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, I'm not going to speak anything. I'm going to ask all of you to rate them, the rest of the audience. So in order to rate them, you have to hear them, and then you can rate them. And then I'm going to ask you why you rated them that, right?
Okay.
Like last time. I mean, not you, I'm telling the audience. You
Yes,
both
sir.
are anyway going to perform. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead.
So, Suman, you mentioned that you have a conference project, and one of them was chatbot. So, can you tell me how can your knowledge of chatbot help in our company?
So chatbots are like they are the bots like they serve 24/7 of the day. So in chatbot, what happens? They have a rule-based and knowledge-based chatbot. So in some of the things they require rule-based chatbots, some of the things knowledge-based. So according to the industries, we are developing chatbots from rule-based or knowledge-based. So in the industries like banking, pharmaceuticals, and otherwise, we can provide chatbots.
Okay. So, can you give an example and elaborate?
So in pharmaceuticals, what happens like some of the medicines that have combinations of several chemicals. So what happens? Some of the people don't have the knowledge of that chemicals. So in that time, we are providing the solutions like chatbot. So if they provide any combinations of some chemicals, so it provides what is the actual use of that chemicals and what is the usage of that and what time should be used. So these type of knowledge-based chatbot we have made.
Okay, you mentioned about role-based chatbot and knowledge-based chatbot. So, can you give an example where our clients from our industry can use role-based chatbots?
So rule-based chatbots like in banking industry, sir. So sometimes what happens, some of the set of the rules are mentioned in that industry, sir. Like in banking, you have credit card and debit card as well, sir. So some of the set of rules they have. So these type of rules are actually they will provide the debit card or credit card, sir. So these type of rule-based chatbots can be implemented on business like banking or industry.
Okay. So, you're basically AI developer.
Yes, sir.
So, in this field, you may know about our industries which we are working with. So, where can we implement the AI knowledge we have
Yes, sir.
in our solution?
So I have planned that, sir. I have planned in AI solutions in traffic analysis, sir. So sometimes we have that lot of traffic in our area, sir. So what happens sometimes there will be no traffic and one lane is completed by vehicles. So another lane is completely empty. So what happens? The one member should waiting for 10 minutes. So this is not better because three lanes are already clear. But in that sense, AI is detected that so these types of lanes are empty, so you can release the traffic. So according to the number of vehicles and the lanes are empty, so these type of data analyzed by AI machine. So the traffic is controlled, sir. So this is the plan, sir.
Okay. So, except from chatbot,
Sorry to interrupt, Shriram, your voice is not audible. His voice is okay, but your voice is not audible.
except from chatbot, can you mention other AI solutions that you have worked with? That you have projects on?
So I already said that traffic analysis, this is my plan, sir. But we have also traffic analysis and traffic prediction, sir. Like we are providing a AI, like it is detecting the length of that road and where is the traffic are located. So in one speed we can travel to that speed, so it gets a green light. In that speed, he should go through that road and then he will get a green light. So because sometimes what happens, some users are not ready to wait 10 or 20 minutes in that lane. So they have to maintain that speed. If they maintain that speed, then they will get a green light in that road. So these are some projects we have. Okay. So we have many clients who are from the medical industry. So can you mention any way solutions that you can thought of? Yes, I thought of that uh, some of the diseases that don't have any medicines. So if that is what happens, we should predict the medicines. Okay, okay. Are you like trying to disease detection? Are you talking about disease detection? Yes, sir. Detection and we also predict some medicines. So sometimes what happens, some sort of diseases are comparatively same. Sir. So then prediction of that medicine through AI can help us in the medical industry. Okay. So can there be any AI solutions in the automobile, not except from the traffic? Can we implement some AI solutions in automobile manufacturing? So manufacturing, I think that some sort of works are made by the people. So automation will be done, sir, through AI. So many of the automations are there. So a little bit more improvisation in that production and manufacturing. So automation will be provided in that field, sir, through AI. Okay. So can you tell me a real-time example? So it can be a project you have worked on, which you think is the best solution, which is the correct solution, it is trending solution for any field. Like field like AI, you mean AI, sir? Yeah, AI. Which you have worked on in the project.
Sorry to interrupt you once again. I'm happy to see this comment from Kavita Computers that audio is not clear. At least they are hearing. So even I have the same problem, but since I've been repeating it, so can you hold the mic a little up or something? I don't know, because it's actually not clear. It's not clear. It's, maybe you're talking well and all that, but we're not able to make sense of it all the time. How come your audios keep changing every time? The last time it was okay. This time there is some problem. It's not very clear. We're not able to hear you properly. Even SSC Kionics is saying it's not audible. If it's not audible, what is the point? I mean, we can't understand what you're saying.
We don't know, sir, what is happening. We are trying to solve. We are speaking. Let's see some numbers.
I'm happy to see the comments though. At least there is participation. They're not able to hear. They were trying to hear and they're not able to hear.
Sir, we are audible, sir. Now, sir.
See, the point is now it is okay. After a while, it becomes muffled, especially Shriram, your voice, some reason it becomes muffled. Maybe the angle of the mic or whatever it is.
We don't know the exact reason.
Yeah. So is it not possible to log in from laptops and attend this session and then you speak into your, but there'll be echo then. There'll be a lot of echo.
Yes, sir. We are currently logging from the laptop itself. We are also trying like speaking loudly. But still there's
yeah, I know you must be doing all those things, but somehow sometimes it's okay, sometimes it becomes feeble. Gradually it becomes feeble. I don't have an answer. You'll have to fix it, right? Your center has to fix it and do it. I mean, it seems like you were doing some interaction and there was some conversation going on, but the point is, since we are not able to hear you clearly, I'm not able to judge what is actually happening. So I can't help it. So what is the solution? Will you figure out what the problem is and then fix it, and then we'll do it again some other time, either today or later on? Because there's no point. Otherwise, I'm just struggling to make sense of what you're speaking. Okay. All right. Okay, so CK Tech, have you prepared yourself? Everybody is saying that. So yeah, I mean, if you're not able to hear, please mention that in the chat box, and then we'll see what we can do. CK Tech, are you ready with your audio?
Yes, sir. Sir, is it audible?
Yeah, especially for these role plays and for all these kind of interactive sessions, audio has to be absolutely clear. You will all have to set up your audio so that we can interact better. Otherwise, it has to be a one-way session where I can present some slides and talk about some things for a long time, and you can listen to it. But will that make any sense? I mean, all the sessions like that cannot be one-way communication, right? I mean, some of them will have to be interactive, Q&A and all of that. So if your audios are not clear, I don't know how to fix it. You will have to fix it at your center.
Sir, is it audible, sir, now?
No, it's not really audible. CK Tech, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can ask everybody. The others can respond in the chat box. Is it audible? CK Tech?
Sir, now we are trying to fix. Are you able to hear, sir, now? Just check out. Just once again check out, sir, please.
Otherwise, yeah, now it seems to be okay. Otherwise, the other option is going forward in the next few sessions. If you can log in from your computers in your laptop or systems, one of you can be in one room and the other one can be in some other room, and then you log in from those, and then it'll be like you're in different places. But yeah, you can, like we are interacting, like I'm interacting with you. If that is possible, maybe that will be easier, because my audio is very clear, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. Is it audible, sir? Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm saying the same thing we can apply for the others also, because it's becoming like a regular affair. Audio is not clear and trying to set up. Okay, let's start. What happened? Are you there, CK Tech?
One second, sir. They are just checking the voice clarity.
Okay.
Sorry for the interviews.
Okay.
Are you there? Hi, sir. I've logged in from another system.
Okay.
She's been logging in.
Yeah, I think it's better like this. We can avoid all this same room problems. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hi, sir. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We are ready, sir.
All right. So you are the interviewer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm the
Can you
interviewer.
tell me what your company is about and what you're going to do?
Sir, actually, we are a product-based company, sir. We are manufacturing the two-wheeler EV, sir. Our mission is to go green, sir. Convert that is polluted nation to the very pure and clean fuel, sir. And then it's a well established company, sir. We have very good sales, and we established a company 2019, and our company name is Eon EV. And
so you are manufacturing
yes,
two-wheelers.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now the case is we need a designation of analyst, sir. Why? Because is we have very good sales, but we need to create a charging infrastructure also. So we need to know where to install and how many charging stations are required, and we have to take decisions. So we are looking forward for analyst tools.
So it's an electronic vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out how many charging stations are required.
Yes, sir. Also, what are the load requirements, because different area will be populated and some other area will having less population. We know to need what is the load of the particular area. So we are trying to figure out.
So this is all over India, or which region specifically?
So now it is been established in Bangalore, and we are selling overall Karnataka.
Okay, so you're going to do the analysis for Karnataka.
Yes.
You want an analyst for doing your analysis, basically.
Yes.
So it is a one-time thing, or you want to continue doing that analysis? Sorry.
It's a continuous process, sir. As the sales gonna increases, we need more and more also analysis.
Okay, so what? So you basically are an established organization. You're producing, manufacturing motor vehicle, electronic vehicles, and then now you want to analyze your data on basically finding out the charging points. What exactly are you going to analyze? You want to analyze number of charging points and what load and all that, right? Regularly, how much?
Yes, yes.
So what do you mean? How much load? I don't understand.
Load. A load means that is power, sir. How much power we need for a certain area, because at some time two-wheelers will be more in a Bangalore city. In case of you take any other Tumakuru, there is an EV using people are less, so there is an power requirement is low. So we are trying to figure out.
Okay, why did you choose this company? What's your name? Sorry.
My name is Pavan Kumar.
Pavan, why did you choose this as your organization? What, any specific reason for choosing this this sector and this kind of an organization for this role play?
No, sir. We are working on a smart city, sir. Under that, we are working on the smart urban mobility. So we want to continue the same project.
Okay, who is working on smart city? Your team in the
our team, sir.
In your course, is it? You're working on the topic of smart city, and therefore you chose this subject, this kind of a company, which can contribute to making the city a smart city, basically, right?
Smart city. Okay. Yes, sir.
How is this connected to smart city?
Which means charging, sir, means electric means we need a pure non-conventional sources, that is solar, wind, and also biomass, all these resources, so that we can use it for the charging of the batteries. So there is an what we call, if we need have extra power also, we can send to the any other companies like in a Bangalore, for example, it's a KPTCL, they give transmission, and also we can if we have more electricity generated at home or in case any other places, we can send them to there also, so we can earn income also.
No, so my question was, how is your company going to contribute to a smarter city? Let's say it's Bangalore. So Bangalore, you're based in Bangalore. So Bangalore, the mission of the government or whatever is to make Bangalore a smart city. Let's assume it's a smart city. So how is your company contributing to this larger vision of making a smart city?
That's we are converting the IC engine based to the pure electric vehicles. Therefore, it is in good vision.
Okay, so it is aligned to the vision of smart city, right? That's what
Yes,
it is.
yes, sir.
What are the other ways in which a city can become smart? What are the other ways in which city, I mean, you have smart city, evolving?
So we can use sensors and also sensors via connected IoT in industrial areas and also in a home automation we can use for turning on
Sensors
lamps.
for what? Sensors for what?
In home automation for biometric locking or interlocking, person detection, also in industries, distance detection, all robotics, it plays important roles.
Okay, what do you mean by a smart city? I don't know. Can you tell me?
Smart city means in this what I can say, sir, it's overall what we say industry 4.4 revolution, and then virtual reality, augmented reality, mixture of all, sir.
Yeah, no, but what is a smart city? Why today we call it a city, but now we're talking about a smart city. What is a smart? What is so smart about the city that it is called a smart city?
So that is all like, electronic based, sir. We collect the data, then we analyze that for a efficient communication of the efficient communication for automation.
Efficient functioning of the city and
efficient functioning.
Okay, or various processes. It could be in transport, it could be in communication, it could be in home automation. All of that. Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir. All
So if you have all those components, and you can make the city a smart city, right? You become more efficient, become more. You're able to do things in a more efficient and a more effortless manner. Is that what you're saying?
Efficient manner.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. I mean the same.
Okay, so that is a smart city, and your company is aligned to the concept of smart city, right? Okay, is it my signal or your signal? You're frozen on the screen.
Sir, once again,
No, you are frozen on the screen. Are you? Am I audible? Am I audible? Can I ask everybody else?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is now, sir, are you available, or can you see me now?
No, your voice suddenly it's dipped. Is it my voice? Is it? Can you all hear me? Can I get a yes in the chat box if you can hear me?
Sir, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so but I think there was some lag in your this thing. Now I think it's okay. Fine, fair enough. Okay, so Pawan, good. So what are you hiring for? You're hiring. Sorry, what are you hiring basically in your organization? Analyst, right?
Analyst.
How many analysts? How many analysts are you hiring?
I'm thinking of 5 analysts.
You're thinking of 5 analysts, or have you decided?
5 analysts. No, sir. Based on the interview performances, I'm thinking about I may majorly required but they are very good at, I can hire them more.
Okay, what is your role in the organization?
I'm an HR, sir.
You're also HR. Okay. So, but HR, you are taking the decision of hiring, or you got that requirement from some other team?
No, sir.
I think his audio is breaking up, right? I can't hear Pawan. Your audio is breaking up, Pawan.
So one second. Sir, ready, sir.
Yeah, no, my question was, are you taking the decisions on number of people to hire, or somebody else has told you that we need to hire these many people?
No, sir. No, sir. The CEO or CEO has told me based on the performances, you can hire till 10, but presently we are looking for 5.
Okay, CEO, the requirement is coming from the CEO. Okay, you are not deciding. The CEO is saying hire some 5 to 10 people. Is that what you're saying?
Means we have discussed him, sir.
No,
Based on that, I will take decisions.
basically my question was, Pawan, so you are from the HR department. Is there a department in your organization that has raised this request for hiring these people? Or I wanted to know the details, which department is basically hiring this resource?
That is IT, sir. The data analysis you are requesting, they need some more, so that's why I consult.
IT systems, IT system team is asking for this.
Yes, sir. Software.
What does the IT system do in your organization? You are manufacturing electronic vehicles, right? You're manufacturing electronic vehicles, right? So what is the IT department doing in your organization?
Sir, means in AB we have it is also having automation like touch screen system and all. So there we need a software IT people. In the dashboard.
Dashboard of what? Of the
vehicle.
Okay, you need some software. I mean, you need some technology basically to build those dashboards and all. Therefore, you need your developers. But
yes.
that is your IT team. That is your IT team, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought your IT team was the IT team of your organization who handles all your internal, data of HR, finance.
No.
Not that.
No, sir. No.
Not that. Okay. No. So that IT team which is developing the product wants to do the analysis.
No, sir. We have told.
Yeah. So my question.
So we need to install. We have to.
Yeah. So who wants to do that analysis for charging points and all of that? You said you need analysts. Yeah, you said you need analysts in your company. That analyst whom you're going to hire is going to be part of which department in your organization?
Sir, IT department itself.
IT department, okay. But the IT department is developing the product, isn't it? They're building the dashboard and all of that. What has charging point analysis got to do with the dashboard charging and dashboard view and all of that?
I told the dashboard required, that is IT team required for that particular job also. For analysis work also, we need a data analyst. So that's why we are having.
So that, okay, let me ask you this question. When you do that analysis and you find out that you need so many charging points or so much of load bearing and all of that, that data, that information is going to be used for what? What are you going to use that information for?
Installation, sir. Installation of charging points.
Installation of charging points in the different parts of the city. Who is going to install that? Who is going to install that? The product team or?
No, sir. We have separate team for. We have technical team for that.
So that technical team will install the product. They will develop the product, and there is a team which will install. So it is that team which needs this data about how many charging points. So it's a
yes, sir.
It is a business decision basically. It is not the technology decision, right? It's not the product design. It is to do with how many we want to install.
Exactly, yes, sir.
It's the business team. They will be, this analyst will be part of the business team, not the IT team, right?
Okay.
That's my understanding. And that's how I understand. This analyst is going to analyze how many you need, how many of those charging points or whatever you need. And based on that analysis, the number of installations will be done. He has nothing to do with the building of the technology or building of the charging station or something like that, isn't it? Or whatever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct.
or
Yes,
the
sir.
dashboard of the vehicle and all that. So he's going to be part of the business team, right?
Yes, sir. Business team. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, I see some chat. We are trying to solve the issue. We are unable to identify the exact problem. Can we do the role play again next session after solving this issue, sir? Yeah, I mean, I leave that to you. I mean, whenever we do it next, yeah, we can try and do it next time. Okay, is this clear, Pavan? Or have I confused?
Yes, sir.
Have I confused?
No, sir. No, sir. It is correct now.
I want to know where you're going to hire this analyst and put him in. Which department are you going to put this analyst in?
Yes, sir. I got it now, sir.
Okay, so what are the qualifications you're looking for in the analyst?
Sir, graduate, sir, in any of the circuit branches.
Any of the
circuit branches.
Okay.
Then expertise in Python and its libraries for analysis purpose. That is the main purpose. And why we are taking the circuit branches itself, because they need to have the understanding in the electronics and electrical parameters.
Okay, and you're looking for freshers or people with some experience?
No, sir, freshers, sir.
Okay, but how will you evaluate the freshers? Are they going to be trained in your organization?
No, sir.
No, how will you, if it is a fresher, how will the fresher do the analysis? Based on the data you're assuming the fresher will do the data analysis, is it?
Yes, sir. At least they need an internship, sir. Internship certificates.
Okay. Who is going to interview you besides you? You are the HR, but who else is going to interview you for the technical round and for the actual business round?
Sir, it's me only, sir.
Oh, you are the HR, no? HR has nothing to do with technology and number of analysis and all. You are HR. You are going to ask.
Sir, means already they have been shortlisted. Then after I am taking interviews.
So you are doing an HR round. You're basically going to negotiate salaries. You're going to negotiate, the role and the company culture, and you're going to make him understand or her understand how will it be to work in the company and all of those kind of things. HR does those things, right?
Yes, sir.
So but you are not going to ask technical questions, isn't it?
No, sir. I will be also asking a technical.
How will you ask technical? How will you ask technical questions? You are from the HR department.
Sir, I am also in a technical background, so I knew it's what to take.
So what I want to correct here is, Pavan, usually if it is the HR round is the almost the last round, where it is more about company culture and how the person will fit in the organization and all, if it is a large organization. HR person will mostly, they will not be doing the this kind of technical discussion. That will be done by the team or the manager within that team, where this person is going to be working. Right? So either you have to change your role or you have to change the entire role play. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Role play. Yes, sir.
So you want to play the role of an HR manager or you want to play the role of a business manager who's hiring for your team? This person you're hiring for your team. What is the role you're playing?
Sir, I got to know, sir. I am playing a business role.
Yeah, you are the owner of that particular problem. The problem, you are hiring this person for your team. Yes, so therefore, you need to ask him questions. Only then you can ask those questions. The HR person will not ask these questions. They will be interested in knowing what is the previous salary, or if they're a fresher, what is their degree and what is their rank and all of those kind of things. They will not ask how will you solve this problem if you are. They cannot ask those questions. That's not their job. Right?
Fine. Sir.
You understood? Okay, so you are playing the role of a business manager or some senior manager executive in that business role in the organization, right? Okay, in that company where you're manufacturing these things. All right. So Okay, fine. I think I've asked you enough questions. Let's go to the next candidate. Who's the candidate? Deepa.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you, Deepa.
Yes, sir. Myself, Deepa, sir.
Yeah, so you have applied for this role. Why have you applied for this role?
So as for now, I have learned. Basically, I'm a graduate in circuit branches. So for me, this job is the best. Perfectly suits for me, so that I have selected for this.
Okay. Why does it suit you?
Because I have learned a Python language as for job designations.
Okay.
So I have Python language learned, and then I also background of electrical based. So I have also knowledge of that. So it suits for me. So I selected.
Okay, but what is this role about? What is the role that you're applying for?
A data analyst.
Data analyst. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So where did you come to know about this job?
In LinkedIn, sir.
Oh, on LinkedIn, is it? Okay. Who approached you for this interview? Who scheduled this interview for you?
One of my friend is there in that company, so he approaches me to apply this jobs.
Okay, you applied, but who called you for this interview?
Sorry, sir.
No, when you applied for this role on the
Yes,
website or there, whatever, how
Yes,
did
sir.
you get a call for this interview? Who called you for this interview?
A company manager.
Some company person called you and then
Yes,
they
sir.
said, can
Yes,
you
sir.
attend this interview at this time?
Yes,
And you
sir.
have agreed to attend the interview, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do this role play. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Only you both can be unmute and you can start discussing and we will not interrupt you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, Deepa. What is a smart city and what is your thought on your smart city?
Basically, a smart city is a technical urban area which uses the sensors and the cameras to collect the data, and that collected data will be stored in some clouds, in a cloud. So whenever that is used, they can be used. And then a smart city means in that uh, in an urban area, so all will be like which will be under the sensors and the cameras. So we will not affect the environment. So without affect the environment, so we can improve our cities. That is what smart cities.
Okay. Have you done any projects over the smart city? That is, our company is because based on the urban mobilities. So, what do you know about?
Yes, sir.
That
We
means,
have
yeah,
done.
what you have done projects.
Yes, sir. We have done a project on a smart city that turned at urban mobility. So that in urban mobility, we have done a projects on how to install charging infrastructure in areas, and then electric vehicles, how it will work, how it will be worked, and then how it will be used, how it will be benefited to people's. So in that area, we have done a project, sir.
Okay. How many people were there in your project group? And also, what is your role in that?
So in our team, there are 3 people. So we 3 are done a smart city project. In that, my role is to elaborate on why smart city is needed to our country, and then why, how will you adapt a smart city, and then why, how differentiate between a smart city and a present city. So that role I had done.
Okay, fine. Do you have any certification based on that's because your job role is based on data analysis? Have you come across that is Python and its libraries?
Yes, sir. I have certificate on Python. I have done in Python course in Kionics.
Okay. Next, okay, fine. That's also our interview round is completed.
That's a very short interview. I thought you were given 10 minutes, right? It's not even 5 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. You're done with the interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
5
So
minutes.
are you going to select her for the role?
Yes, sir. I will select.
Okay. Why? What is so
Sir, sir.
special? Are you going to select her for the role?
Yes, sir. I gonna select her, sir.
Why?
Because she has a knowledge over the technology of what we are going to work on presently, and then yeah, she also knew all the latest technology that is being used in our company. That's why reason I am going to select her.
Okay. So ratings, please. All the others, can you please rate them? Rate the interview, the role play. Can all the others rate the role play? What projects has she done, by the way, Pawan?
Projects that is smart city over the urban mobility issues.
Okay, what has she done in that project?
That is, she has come up with the what is charging that is what is mean by charging infrastructure and how do they install, and she also have a certificate based that she has come across. She has hands-on experience on Python and currently being used libraries in it.
So my question is, what has she done in that project? What is it that she has done in that project which is exciting? What is that smart city project she has done? I don't want to know what certification she has, what knowledge she has. What was the project she did, and what was her role, and what was the project's objective, and what was achieved in that project?
Sir,
what was the project about? Okay, she mentioned there is a smart city project. So was it a smart city about making homes smart? What was that project that she was talking about?
Actually, she was talking about urban mobility, sir.
Urban mobility. Okay,
transportation.
urban mobility. Transportation. Okay, so in that urban mobility, what was that project she did?
Sir, what did you say, sir? I cannot.
I know. My question is, I know she said she did a project in urban mobility, but what is that project? What has she done in that project? What was that urban mobility about, and what was so exciting about that urban mobility project? What did they achieve in that? Which urban area? What did they do? What did they mobilize? What made the complete change? Made it a smart city? What was it that she did?
Yes, sir. They were actually working on a project that is, they were collecting the data and they were processing that. That is which is being stored in the cloud. Then they were
okay. What data were they collecting?
Collecting information for
what data were they collecting?
What data, sir?
Sorry.
That is mobility. That is passengers mobility. There, how much they are using the vehicles and on what is the public transportation they were working on.
So they were collecting that data and they were putting that data on the cloud. So what was the result of it? They collected the data, they put it on the cloud. So what was it used for?
They made decision. What decision has to be taken place? Whether they have to work on the public transportations or that is private vehicles, their own vehicles.
Sorry, I did not understand. What is the information they gathered from the data?
So they gathered that what is the means they gather how much people they are people using the public transport and
Okay.
how to improve that, or
how to improve what? Okay, let's look at just one data. One data is how many people are using the public transportation. Okay, how many people are using public transportation is the data gathered. All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's look at only this. So if they've gathered this information about how many people are using public transportation, what did they do with the data, with that information?
Sir, I asked them about the project. I want to know that whether they have done any projects on electrical. So I asked them, but but that is not my intention. My intention was about they need to know that is electrical parameters.
Your voice is breaking, Pawan. Your voice is completely breaking.
They should have a hands-on experience.
Pawan, your voice is completely breaking. Your network is very low. It says your network bandwidth is low.
Thanks. It's the same for me, sir. It is a break of voice. Your voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah, your network bandwidth is low, so we're not able to hear you.
So now?
No, it still says it's low. CK Tech. No. Cannot hear.
Sir, are you there, sir?
I'm there. I'm pretty much there, but okay, continue now. Let's see if we can hear you.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want
This student is from CK Tech?
Yes, sir.
Where is your franchisee owner?
Sir, yes, sir. Is Chandrakant sir is there, sir.
Is there? He's attending
Yes,
this
sir.
session? Okay, carry on.
Yes, sir.
Carry on.
Yeah. So tell me, Pawan.
Sir, what I was telling.
Yeah, tell me.
What I was telling is I wanted to know whether they have worked on electrical. They have worked on any of the project, but my main intention was to that they are capable of understanding electrical knowledge and also their hands-on experience on the Python, how they
hold on.
Understand the
what
problem.
was your main intention? One intention was to find out whether they have tell me two things. You told 2 or 3 things. Tell me the first thing. What was your main intention of asking that question?
Whether they have done any of the projects, sir.
So you only wanted to know whether they have done any project or not. Is that all?
All this session.
Yes, sir.
But they will always say they have done a project. After that, you have to ask them about what the project is about and what is the detail about the project, right? So they will. How did you evaluate whether she's done the project genuinely or what she's claiming?
Just see you, sir. What I'm telling you, but just see 40 hours. Imagine we do 2 years. 2 years. That is how we produce voice systems. So.
Hello, can you hear me? CK Tech? Pawan? Pawan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pawan. So your question was whether she has done a project or not, right? She's done a project or not is what your question was. Now, if she's done that project, then you need to, if she's claiming that she has done that project, don't you think you need to know a little more about the project? Because you're going to hire her for the role.
Yes, sir.
How will you evaluate that?
Yes, sir.
So you will have to ask her more details about the project, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Which is what they will ask in an actual interview. They will not just ask whether you have done a project. Once you say, yes, you have done a project in that space, if that project is relevant to that role, I mean, or that knowledge, they want to know more about that project, isn't it? So you have to ask more details about the project. What did the project do? How did they go about doing the project? What was the data collected? What was the data collected used for? What was the result? And how did she actually go through that whole process and execute that project if she has done that project along with the team? Right? You need to know more details about how the project was executed, which I saw was missing in your asking of questions, but in an actual interview, they will ask all these questions. You're getting my point?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Yeah, just asking whether you have done a project or not, they will say yes. So after that, you didn't even ask her to elaborate on that project and explain what the project was and those details, which you should have. Because, okay, now next thing is, so therefore, there is not much information for you to decide because you will have 10 candidates, 10 other people will come. All of them will say, yes, I did a project on this. Will you just, then you will select all 10 of them, or how will you decide between the 10? If you have to choose only 2, how will you choose them? You will choose based on more information that they have given. That is how you're going to see how genuine they are, how much they have done the project, what is their interest in that particular area, how much excited they are about that role. All of that you have to evaluate, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I should ask.
So you will, yeah, you should ask when you get that chance. But why I'm telling you is because when you go for an interview, you will also be evaluated on all of these things. How much you know about that subject and the project, how to elaborate that project more in detail. You were saying data collection. All this you only told me. She did not tell me that they went and collected the data of number of people, the transportation and all of that. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
She did not say all of this. You picked up all of this and on her behalf. Yes? Yes?
Yes, sir. I told you.
Okay. So will you hire her now? Do you think you will select her for the role now? Based on my feedback, little bit of feedback.
Yes, no, sir. No, sir. I should have asked one more question. Then I need more information about every candidate. Then I would have decided.
Because what she said was very standard. Other 10 people will also say, if there are 10 more people who were asked to prepare for this role play, all the other 10 will also say the same thing what she said. There was nothing very great, nothing very impressive about the whole thing as such, because you didn't probe further. How will you select between those 10? But in an actual interview, they are going to select from hundreds of people if you have to get that job. You have to be prepared with that project, and you have to be prepared with these questions, more probing questions. Yes? Okay.
Yes,
okay. So, yeah, so I think therefore some ratings also went, someone has rated 8 out of 10. Shweta from Kionics, Karnataka. Okay, and then we have 7, Kavita Computers from 7 out of 10. There is no name again. I need the name of the person who's rated. And then we have 6 out of 10. Okay, 7 out of 10. Who has rated 7 out of 10 from Kavita Computers? Kavita Computers, can you come up on screen? Whoever has rated 7 out of 10 from Kavita Computers.
Justify.
Please justify. Yeah.
We knew that.
Sir,
When I say something, something like that. When they say something.
sir, I given the 7 out of 10.
Okay, why?
As an interviewer, he has asked relevant questions, and also she is tried to explain little bit. So I thought.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, like I clarified in the last few minutes, he asked some questions, what project and all of that, and she answered some questions. But that was very shallow. That was very superficial. Have you done a project? Yes, I have done a project. Do you have this knowledge? Yes, I have that knowledge. Do you have this certification? Yes, I have that certification. Did you do this? Yes, I have done that. So will an actual interview, do you think they will give a job based on these yes and no questions? No. There will be hundreds of candidates who will answer the same thing. Then how will you select between those 10? They have to go a little more deeper, right? They will ask more about that project. What was that exact project? Okay, so you said you have done some smart city project in data collection and all that, and then you collected some data about whatever the number of people, passengers traveling. So what happened to that data? How was it useful? What was the end result? That is what you need to explain in this case. Or in another project, you need to explain what you did in that. How was the project useful to the society? How was the project useful for the company? Right? You doing a project alone is not sufficient. A lot of people do a lot of projects, but how is that project useful? How is it productive? What result did that project finally come up with? Yeah, so that they are going to ask. Because all that was not there, I don't think we can rate them 7 out of 10. Right now, I can rate them 3 or 4 out of 10.
Anil,
Yes.
you know how the rating is happening because
Yes.
these two at least spoke something.
Exactly.
They did not speak anything, so they are rating. So that's why I always say my L2 is also like that. Like students only. They also rate, "Arey yaar, something these people spoke." See, if I were in their place, Anil, correct me. If they were asking, I was giving a project on smart city, I would have first explained them the objective behind the smart city, why I took up this project. Then what I would have done is how the whole project of the smart city got broken. Maybe the infrastructure part separately, the manpower part separately, the technological part separately, the HR angle separately. And then I would have delved into, whenever he was asking this question, please tell me more about the smart city. Actually, when he's asking this question, please tell me more about the smart city, he is entering into my strength area because all these kids have done a project on smart city.
Okay.
And they have shown the project. The problem with them is, Anil, what has happened is when they do a project of the various experts, they do it only for their expert sake's evaluation.
Correct.
They are not using in the interview. That is what I'm trying. Neither the L2 is helping them in that direction. The L2 is also evaluating them in that direction only, that okay, as long as they are talking, it is okay. No. When an interview happens, you have to tell basically what you did in that smart city, what was the objective, whether the objective was achieved. For example, data. What happened to that data? Whenever you have placed the project to somebody, with the help of that data, how you really made something out of it, what was the basic thing which you delivered? That thing was missing here, if you really ask me. So if you ask me the rating, I'll not give him more than 2 out of 10.
Okay, so yeah, so I agree.
So
I
that
mean,
is how I think they should have done. But nevertheless, as long as they are opening up, I am happy. But I think, Anil, they need a full 4 to 5 sessions more on this, so that they work on this. I think 2 sessions will not do. Hello.
yeah, yes. So I think your voice is becoming a little feeble, but we could hear you towards the end, sir.
Yeah, what I'm trying to tell you is that I think more and more sessions of the role play, when you do in future, it is more of a probing area rather than talking area.
Correct.
They will have to, the interviewer must probe in more rather than, simply taking a yes, no as an answer.
Absolutely. So it's not
that
a yes.
is what my L2 should also, I think, Anil, what I would suggest is in the next session, you have some idea how my L2 is doing the role play. Because if my trainer is not perfect, you have a list of trainers, right?
So maybe we can do a role play using
the trainers. So you select my 10 trainers, divide into 5 groups. Let the trainer play a role in the next session, so that when they see the trainers talking, I think this you give as an assignment to my trainers, Anil, because what is happening? My trainers also don't know how to do a role play. Okay. So I think students will not learn anything. What I saw today is they are just fighting it out as if you have put them in the water and they are trying to swim. but the trainer is not there to help them to swim. So I think let us find out whether a trainer knows the role play or not. So Anil, take that list, divide it into the 5 groups and give them a job. They will next class, let the students see how the trainers do the role play. That will be better.
Sure.
That will be better because you will be taking 1 or 2 sessions, but trainers have to train them with multiple sessions in the month of November. So I think Anil, that will do a better job. You give this assignment to the trainers, the 10 trainers list that you have, divide them into teams and let them play the role next time.
Yeah, so with just one suggestion, I can divide them into teams, but I mean, if they can group up and form their own teams, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I'm okay. I leave it to you, Anil. Anil, it is totally your baby. You decide. So you give this assignment in the next session. Have it from the trainers, the role play of the trainers.
So let's keep that as the task for the next session. We'll have role play from the trainers, and I give them they can have the liberty of choosing their groups, but they need to be prepared. We can't be making the groups then. If you're prepared beforehand, we can get started with the role plays with the trainers.
We will also know, Anil, if the trainers also goof up or talk in the same fashion as the students, then we know what is the
then we know what is wrong.
Students are getting, because it has to come from the trainers. If the trainers are not clear of the role play, they will talk exactly the way they are talking. Today, at least they talked something. First session, they did not talk. So I think let us have a role play of the L2 in the next session. You can let them decide their team and you can evaluate them, and the students can see how the trainers are telling, and then we take it forward from there. I think that will be better. What do you say?
I think
I will not do anything.
No, that makes sense. If the trainers are all here, maybe we can have the groups right away, and then next time we can just get started. So can we do the grouping now itself? If that is fine, we can, if they're all there, we can do that grouping right away. Actually, I mean, at least some of the groups we can start forming.
Supposed to be there. All the trainers are supposed to be there. You have the list, Anil. Just call them out now.
Yeah, I'll just call them out.
Yeah, call them out. Call them out. Have a roll call. All trainers are supposed to be there. Let them follow.
So meanwhile, any trainers are there who want to speak up and give their teams or views, most welcome.
Hello, Anil sir. This is Tahir from Hubli. So we can form a groups and we can get started from the next session. It will be great.
Okay, so what is your? So I have the list with me. So yes, because again, if I make a group, then again they will say this one was not there, that is not there. So I can leave it to you to form your groups. I mean teams of 2 each, and we can have those role plays so that we can have a productive session the next time. Will that be? Yeah, so I have all this list with me, faculty, and we have Prema Jyoti. I'm reading it out from the list. So we have Prema Jyoti, Anupama Patil, Afreen Banu, Shweta, Altaf, Ramesh, Asma again, and Tahir again, and Ashwin, and Abhilash, and Saujanya, Vaibhav, Krishna, Ashwin, Altaf. So not a lot of them actually. I think between all of you, you can form your teams. Saujanya and Abhilash will be one team, is it? Okay. So if you can just type it in the chat box, your teams, and then we can get, if we've had enough experience about these role plays, so I think we all know what needs to be done. And maybe one of you can play the interviewer and the other one interviewee, and take up a company and whatever, I mean, the background, and then we can do these role plays. Any questions regarding these role plays? The L2s?
I want to hear the team quickly. I got only Saujanya, Abhilash. That's one team. What are the other teams? Quickly. Rattle out the names. L2. I'm sitting only for that. You can put it in the chat box. I want to read it. L2. Quickly. I'm giving only 5 minutes. I didn't ask you something which is very, very transcendental. I don't know. I'm asking the basic thing, which is the team which is going to play the role next week. If you behave like this, definitely students are not able to do role play. That's for sure. So please, I got only Saujanya, Abhilash, well known because both are husband and wife. They are feeling very comfortable. playing the role. Okay, as long as but I hope they both remain after the role play in a married life. That is why I was avoiding husband wife. But anyway, it's okay.
No, sir, no, sir. That won't affect us in any way.
Saujanya and Abhilash are playing the role. That's not an issue. But I want remaining names also. Quickly. Anil, you got all the 5 teams?
Yeah, there is Saujanya Abhilash, Ashwin Shweta, Altaf Tahir, and Kavita Priya. I think there's one more team left, right? Okay, I think.
One more team. That is what. I think there are 10. There are 10 or 12. 12, I think.
In my list, I have 13 name. 13 is the name, but there are repetitions of these trainers, right? So
No repetitions. I think I have 12 L2, so 16. As long as you got your 16, let's have a role play in your next session of the trainers, because then the students will really learn, seeing the trainers playing the role.
Yeah, I think makes sense. So any questions? L2 has any questions? All those who are playing these roles, if you have any doubts, questions, you can ask now, and then we can answer those so that you're prepared well for that the next time. Anything is not clear?
Sir, do we have to pick the criteria on ourselves, or will you provide the criteria, sir? Like, should be a startup or a company which is already
you can pick, but I'm going to ask you questions. Whatever criteria you pick, I'm going to probe you. I'm going to ask you why you took that, why you have chosen, what is the background. I just want the role play.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you so much. Yes.
And Anil, it will give me a yeoman service, because my October evaluation of L2 will be this only. My L2 evaluation will be, Anil Yerra's evaluation will be this role play only of my L2. So it will get me a star L2 also. So thank you very much, Anil, for helping me out.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure. Okay, any other questions from L2? So you have to choose a scenario. You choose an organization or a setup like a startup or an MNC or whatever, and then why you are playing that particular role. The reasoning behind it, and then obviously you will be asked questions about your company and all of that. And the person who's appearing for the interview, the candidate, will ask them why they have chosen to appear for this interview and all of that. And then we'll leave it to you. You will have that role play where you're in the middle of the interview, right? It's not like from the beginning and all of that. Basically, a deep dive into the candidate's expertise in that space, whatever that topic is. It could be cyber security, it could be AI, it could be digital marketing, whatever that area is. And you have to figure out how capable that candidate is for that particular job.
So, Anil, did you get Prem Jyoti and Anupama Patil in the team?
Prem Jyoti and Anupama Patil? No.
No, then you make one team, and I think Harinakshi madam will communicate to them that they are already a team member for the role play.
Okay.
I will put this job to Harinakshi. She will communicate to them that they have to prepare for the role play, because see how the L2s are vanishing. Are you seeing? Anil, in the same way, students also are vanishing. So the psychology is very clear from where it is, starting. Your L2 is also going in corners. So I remember all the names. That's why I asked you. Prem Jyoti, Anupama Patil. They are not given the names. So they have to be a team to play the role. And Harinakshi madam, please send the mail. So are the 12 names with you, Anil? Have you got the 12 names?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 names right now.
Which is 2 missed out. Prem Jyoti and Anupama Patil?
No, those two are not there.
So this makes 12. That's it. Prem Jyoti, Anupama Patil. And this mail will go from Harinakshi for the next role.
Sure.
So I think you got your all 12, no? Anil?
Yeah, now, so Saujanya Abhilash is one team, Ashwin and Shweta is the other team, Altaf and Tahir, Kavita and Priya. Then again, there is one Ashwin and Afreen, and then Prem Jyoti.
Ashwin is in 2 teams. He played 2 role plays. I'm okay.
Sir, Vaibhav is missing.
Vaibhav is missing. So Vaibhav, and instead of Ashwin and Afreen, you put Vaibhav and Afreen. Vaibhav and Afrin. Where is Vaibhav? Is he not a part of this? Okay. Vaibhav and Afrin. So Harinakshi madam will send a mail to Vaibhav also that he has to play the role with Afrin. Anybody else left out? Anybody else? Anybody else? Asma is Ramesh? With whom? Whom?
He is not there.
With whom? Ramesh. Okay, let Ramesh and Ashwin play. Okay, I think one more you put up, Anil, Ramesh and Ashwin. If Ashwin wants to play 2 role plays, I will not like to curb his enthusiasm. I would like to continue giving him 2 role plays. Let him do a role play with Ramesh and Ashwin. Because Ashwin had given names in 2 places. He will say again, professor has demotivated him. So I don't want to demotivate Ashwin. So Ashwin can play the role with Shweta and Ashwin can play the role with Ramesh. I think that covers all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anil. And I think you can continue if you still want to continue. So for me, for the day is over. And I think I will now catch you only post 10th. Because I am also traveling. I think you are also off. You can continue, connecting with Harinakshi. Yeah. I will be offline now for the next 9 days. And I'll be back on 10th. But I hope if you want to do this role play behind me also, you can go ahead and do it. But
no, I think we'll also do it. Yeah, we'll try to do it. We can just get you after 10.
This will also help you to gauge how is my L2.
Sure.
Because if my trainers are not properly trained in the role play, no, Anil, howsoever many sessions you give, these students will not learn. They're actually diving in the sea, not knowing how to swim. And the trainers who are supposed to teach them how to swim are really not clear. So let the trainers be first clear on the role play. I think that will be better. Because see, what happens in the ITs and IM, Anil, we all know what a role play is. And we play the role beautifully there because we are trained to do that. Now here, I think this training is required for our trainers. So once they are trained, no, Anil, your life will become very easy. And you will also enjoy these sessions. Right now, I can see in the last 2 sessions, you are not enjoying. But since we have, given you this assignment, you are doing an assignment. That's all. But I don't see that power of enjoyment in you are giving 3, but if you ask me, all are not to be given more than 1 out of 10. But you are motivating them to give them 5, 6 and all. I don't want that. I want my students to be genuinely good. And who are the people who make them good? My trainers. So I think let us train our trainers first. And you can really rip them apart when you are analyzing my trainers. You have that authority to do that. So next is all yours with the trainers. And students are going to see how they do the role play. That is how the students will learn. I think that is a better way of going ahead with it. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You are giving 5 days or 6 days? How many days you are giving them to prepare? How many days you are giving them to prepare?
So yeah, you're asking me, sir. So I think
yes, I'm asking you.
I think about a week's day.
Okay, perfect.
Good enough, right?
Very good, very good. Week's time. Coordinate with Harinakshi, whichever day you want. My only request is September evaluation. Kindly give me by 7th, so that I can evaluate my franchisees and my L2.
I will do that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Anil.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, everybody. I think I'm also done, unless there are any questions from anyone.
Anil, sir, one question.
Yes, Abhilash.
Sir, like, should we go in as freshers, or can we also pitch in as experienced candidates?
I would suggest, because we are doing this role play for the benefit of these students, so the closer we are to these students, the better it will be for them to relate with that role play, right? Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Each L2 can take 10 to 15 minutes. Each L2 can take a role play of 10 to 15 minutes. That's all. What do you say, Anil?
Yeah, that's the time. We had also given these 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah. Sure. All right. Thank you then. Thank you, everybody. You all have a good evening. And if there aren't any further questions, I'm done and I'm handing over to the organizing team if they want to announce anything.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.